you ready for the jury? All right, be seated. All right, next question.
Good morning, Ms. Hurd.
Good morning.
Your relationship with Mr. Depp began in October of 2011, right?
That's correct.
And you previously testified multiple times, under oath, that the first year of your relationship with Mr. Depp was the best of times, right, Ms. Hurd?
That is correct.
You testified that as far as you could tell, Mr. Depp was sober that first year.
That is correct. That's what I used to believe.
And that the first year was, quote, magic.
Yes, I always estimated it was about a year.
But now you've told this jury that Mr. Depp was being violent with you throughout 2012, haven't you, Ms. Hurd?
No, he took a break in the middle of 2012 when he was sober.
You told them that he was hitting you in 2012, though. Is that right?
He was hitting me in 2012. He just took a break in the middle.
He was smashing things around you, right?
He did.
And you told them that Mr. Depp was in and out of sobriety in 2012.
That is correct.
You told this jury that, in 2012, I was in the beginning stages of this, just learning these patterns. I was learning that drinking kind of correlated with the violence, end quote. Is that right?
That is correct.
So it was during these cycles of violence in 2012 that you gave Mr. Depp a knife as a gift.
I gave him a knife, I think for a birthday present early in our relationship. I believe it was around 2012, but I'm not certain.
We've seen a picture of that knife, but I think we should bring out the real thing. Master Deputy Halusa, Master Deputy Sheriff Halusa, may I please have you show the knife to Ms. Hurd?
Yes, that's it.
That's the knife you gave to the man who was hitting you, right, Ms. Hurd?
I wasn't worried he was going to stab me with it when I gave it to him, that's for certain.
But you gave it to him while he was abusing you, allegedly.
I gave it to him that year.
Master Deputy Sheriff Halusa, will you please show the knife to the jury? Thank you. This is the knife you gave to the man who would get drunk and violent with you, right?
This is the same knife that I gave him as a present in 2012, yes.
Now, Ms. Hurd, I'm going to need to talk to you about what happened in Australia in March of 2015. You've testified that at some point during the incident you described, you witnessed Mr. Depp bashing a phone against a wall, right?
That is correct.
You testified that the phone was breaking into pieces.
I was watching it disappear.
That Mr. Depp smashed it, I think your word was smithereens.
Yes, that is correct.
And according to your testimony, this was a wall-mounted phone in the bar area.
That is correct.
Let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1820. I believe this has already been admitted into evidence, if we could have it published. Thank you. You saw this photo during your direct examination, right?
That is correct.
And you testified that the wall-mounted phone that you saw Mr. Depp smash is on the wall on the left.
That's correct. So if you were looking at this picture, the wall-mounted phone would have been behind you on the left-hand side of your shoulder.
But it's not depicted in this photo, correct?
Whoever took this photo was standing right in front of where that mounted phone was.
That's convenient. The pieces of the phone Mr. Depp smashed aren't in this picture either, right?
You don't see it because it's whoever took this photo standing in front of that.
Whoever took this photo, it's Mr. Ben King, correct?
That's what I believe.
Yeah. Mr. King testified under oath in this trial, right?
That is correct.
And he testified that there was no wall-mounted phone smashed to smithereens that he had to replace, correct?
I didn't hear him testify to that, no.
He did. Your counsel elicited it.
I disagree with that representation.
You also saw this picture. Actually, can we please bring up Defendant's Exhibit 1821, which is also admitted into evidence? You also saw this picture during your direct examination, correct?
That is correct.
And so this is the bar area to the right of the wall-mounted phone you just described.
If you were facing in that direction, if you're facing this direction, it would be behind you.
This phone on the counter isn't the phone that got smashed to smithereens, is it?
No, they brought that out during my testimony in the UK as well, and I said this in the UK trial as well, that is not the phone. Obviously, because that one's not smashed and it's not wall-mounted.
Yeah, so there are two phones in the bar area.
There was a wall-mounted phone. I don't know if it was decorative or what, but it was like it looked antique, large and antique.
And what the large and antique one that's not depicted in any photograph, including ones you took, is the one that Mr. Depp damaged, correct?
That is correct. I only took pictures of the mirrors.
So there's no picture of that damaged phone?
I didn't take a picture of it, no.
Okay. So back to the phone smashing. You watched Mr. Depp smash the phone, right?
That's correct. I watched it.
And you testified that you were, quote, watching the phone every single time he pulled his hand back, end quote.
That's correct.
And according to you, this is when Mr. Depp lost the tip of his finger, right?
It is my best guess. I didn't notice his finger come off, obviously. I was watching him smash the phone and watching the pieces break while he was doing it.
Well, it's not your best guess, Ms. Heard.
That is my best guess, yes.
Okay, let's go back to my questions. You submitted a declaration under the penalty of perjury in this case. Do you remember that?
That is correct.
Okay, let's look at that declaration.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
If we could direct your attention, Ms. Heard, to the page 14 of the declaration. Is that your signature?
Yes, it is.
And your signature appears right under the statement, quote, I declare, under penalty of perjury, under the laws of the state of Virginia, that the foregoing is true and correct.
That is correct.
And this is dated April 10th, 2019.
Correct.
Now let's look at paragraph 16, which is on page 5. Specifically line 10. Quote, you write, testify under oath, while he was smashing the phone, Johnny severely injured his finger, cutting off the top of it, end quote. Did I read that correctly?
Yes, that's correct.
So you testified in this courtroom that after Mr. Depp smashed the phone, he held you down on the countertop by the neck. Do you remember that?
I'm not quite sure of the exact sequence of things, but yes, both of those things happened.
Okay. Well, we'll get to the sequence. And this is when Mr. Depp supposedly assaulted you with a bottle, right?
On the countertop, he assaulted me.
So Mr. Depp was able to get you on the counter, right?
He held me down by my neck.
And hold you down by your neck.
That is correct.
And he grabbed a bottle, according to you, while holding you down by the neck, correct?
I'm sorry, can you clarify what you're asking me?
While Mr. Depp is holding you by the neck against the countertop, he grabs a bottle. That's your testimony.
No, those two things didn't happen at the exact same time, no.
So he's holding the bottle, is that your testimony? While
was holding
holding you
my-
down by the neck?
Sorry. What was your question?
Your testimony is, Ms. Heard, that either he has the bottle before or after he's holding you by the neck on the counter. Is that your testimony?
He held me by the neck on the counter.
Where's the bottle that he assaulted
At what
you with?
point?
While holding you down by your neck.
When he was assaulting me with the bottle, it was in his hand.
Was it in his hand before or after he holds you down by your neck?
I was being held down while he assaulted me with the bottle.
When he puts you on the counter, does he have the bottle in his hand, yes or no?
As I have always said, I don't remember exactly what happened first, or I don't remember the sequence. I just remember being aware that I was being assaulted by a bottle while I was on the countertop.
So he penetrates you with this bottle. But you don't know how he got the bottle, right?
That is correct.
And he did that right after he lost the tip of his right middle finger.
Again, I don't remember the exact sequence of those events.
We'll get to the sequence. And while he was on 8 to 10 MDMA pills, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about the sequence. This is the sequence of events you testified to in this courtroom. That he smashed the phone to smithereens and then assaulted you, lost the tip of his finger, and then assaulted you with a bottle. Yes, that's the sequence of events that you testified to in this courtroom.
To be clear, you're putting it in order when you say words like then. I have never claimed that I can remember the exact sequence of these things. This was a multi-day assault that took place over 3 horrible days.
Ms. Heard,
It's the worst thing ever
Ms.
happened
Heard,
to me. I
we're
don't
not
remember
Ms.
the
Heard,
exact sequence.
that's not my question. My question isn't about the 3-day assault allegedly that occurred. I'm just talking about the sexual assault that you now allege occurred.
Yes,
Okay?
correct.
Let's talk about the sequence. So you testified, actually. Do you have a copy? Yeah, I know. I just realized that. Do we have a copy? We gave it to you yesterday. Court transcript. Yes. Ms. Heard, do you have a copy of day 16 in front of you?
Day 16? Yes, of my
Court
deposition?
transcript? Yes. No, of the court transcript from this trial.
Oh.
Yes.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I do.
Let's look at the transcript. So you testified on page, I'm getting there, 4506.
All right.
There? Okay. The reason that we need to go through this, Ms. Heard, is because we understand that these are very serious allegations that you're making, right?
It was horrible. What happened to me, yes.
Okay, so let's go through them. Page 4506, line 2 through 3. I sit here now. Apologize. You testified on page 4506. This all started when Mr. Depp took 8 or 10 pills of MDMA, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Then, directing your attention to page 4518. Line 19. You talk about Mr. Depp smashing a wall-mounted phone, correct?
That is correct.
Then on page 4519, at line 3, You testified that while Mr. Depp is smashing the phone, he is screaming, quote, "I fucking hate you," end quote. Right?
Yes, he was screaming that, among other things.
And further down on page 4519, same page, lines 12 through 19, you talk about how you watched Mr. Depp smash the phone to smithereens. Right?
That is correct.
Then, continuing on the same page, 4519, line 20, you say something really important. Quote, "At some point, he's on top of me. No phone, but screaming the same thing," end quote. Right?
I just remember the sound, yes.
But you remember, and you testified to this jury, that he didn't have the phone in his hand anymore.
When he was assaulting me with the bottle,
Right.
he had the bottle in his hand. When he was punching the wall with the phone, he had the phone in his hand. When he was punching the wall next to my head, he had me by the throat.
Hello, Abs. Great to see you. Nice to see you. I was in the background doing some stuff with the cat, and cat seems like he's all right now. So, thank you. And she says, just want to say goodnight and update tomorrow. Sorry, took night meds. Have a great stream. All right, so, okay, understood. Thank you for letting us know, Abs, and have a good night. All right. Shout out to all of you watching, listening, and lurking. I appreciate everybody. Yeah, so, while I was doing stuff in the backgrounds, playing some stuff from the Depp trial, we've been doing rotations of different trials we're watching, and I realized, well, the camera wasn't on the whole time, so, yeah, because I see that my camera blocks her face, but I just realized that because it wasn't on before. All right. Okay, so, yeah, that is what was going on in the background. Right. Okay, now I will continue to play more of this trial and go on from there. Okay, let's see.
He did a lot of things that night.
So you're acknowledging, by this sequence, not my words, your words, Ms. Heard, that you testified to this jury, that Mr. Depp smashed the phone to smithereens before he assaulted you. That's the sequencing in which you testified, correct?
I have never testified to a sequence.
Okay. Keep talking about that sequence. Then on page 4521, starting at line 3, you testified to being bent over backwards on the bar, right?
Okay.
Good evening, Anthony. Welcome to the stream.
Directing your attention, Ms. Heard, to page 4521, starting at line 3. You testified to being bent over backwards on the bar, right?
That is correct.
And then feeling pressure on your pubic bone like Mr. Depp was punching you. Yes?
That's what I thought.
And then further down on page 4521 and on to 4522, you testified that you were concerned Mr. Depp was using a broken bottle on you. Yes?
That was my fear.
Okay.
That's what I remember feeling.
Ms. Hurd, I'm going to show you Defendant's Exhibit 1816. Which has already been admitted.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You saw this picture during your direct examination, right?
I did.
And you testified that this is a picture of the bottles that were next to Mr. Depp on a desk when you found him drinking in the morning, right?
That's correct.
And this was the morning after Mr. Depp had allegedly sexually assaulted you, right?
It was the morning after he did assault me. Yes.
And if I understood your testimony correctly, you testified that this is the Maker's Mark bottle that Mr. Depp sexually assaulted you with.
I was never sure it was, but it was definitely that shape. Felt like that shape.
But you testified in this courtroom that you had not seen this bottle until Ben King provided these photographs, correct?
And not in the course of the trial. I hadn't seen the photograph.
You claim you had serious injuries after this alleged incident, right, Ms. Hurd?
Depends on what you would call serious. For me, having a sore jaw and some bruises at the time of my relationship wasn't that serious.
Okay, let's testify.
Relative.
Let's focus on the testimony that you gave about the injuries. Mr. Depp, as you testified yesterday, wears rings on every finger, right?
Sometimes. Often. And certainly in the later part of our relationship, that was more normal than not. But if he's filming or something like that, of course, he's not going to have his own jewelry on.
Your testimony in this trial was, quote, I don't know if I've ever known Johnny not to wear rings. Correct?
You need to put your microphone on, Miss. Oh. Thank you.
Objection, Your Honor.
Thank
Improper impeachment. If she's going to ask her question, then she has to show where that was and then.
I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead.
Thank you. Your testimony yesterday was, quote, I don't know if I've ever known Johnny not to wear rings. Right, Ms. Hurd?
That's what I testified to, yes.
Okay. And he was wearing rings on every finger in Australia, correct?
Not all the time, not literally every single ring, every single day, but he often wears rings.
Not often, Ms. Hurd. Your words are, I've never known Johnny not to wear rings on every finger.
That is what I testified to.
Okay. And you testified that you bled as a result of this sexual assault, correct?
That is correct.
All right. And you testified that your forearms were cut.
My forearms and my feet.
And your feet were sliced up.
That's correct.
And you testified you had a bruise across your jaw.
That is correct.
And there is not a single medical record reflecting treatment for any of those injuries, is there, Ms. Hurd?
I didn't seek treatment.
And the day after you sustained all these injuries, Dr. David Kipper came to the house in Australia, right?
Well, he came the third day, along with security.
The day after you sustained these injuries, Dr. David Kipper came along with Nurse Debbie Lloyd, correct?
Well, that fight went into the morning, like early hour morning, so technically that last day.
Dr. David Kipper is Mr. Depp's, or was Mr. Depp's physician, right?
I believe he still is.
But he
Yes.
was at the time.
Yes, that's correct.
And he was also your physician.
He also saw me.
No, not saw you. He was your physician, correct, Ms. Hurd?
Johnny was the client, but he also treated me.
All right, let's please pull up. Do you remember giving testimony in this case in a deposition, Ms. Hurd?
Yes, I do. I've given a couple.
If we could please pull up the deposition transcript, day 2. At 589, lines 6 through 8. May I approach?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we're going to play Ms. Hurd's deposition for the jury. Lines, day 2, page 540, lines 6 through 9. If we have permission to publish it.
You got to give me.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, day 2, page 589, lines 6 through 8.
All right, if you could just give us a minute to get
Of course.
there. 589.
I'm sorry, what were the lines again?
page 589, lines 6 through 8.
Wait. Did you say 540 or 589?
589, lines 6 through 8.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I have no objection, Your Honor.
And he was your doctor at this point, right?
Yes, he was.
Debbie Lloyd also came to the house that day.
Yes, she came with Kipper.
Yeah. Miss Lloyd is a nurse, correct?
That is correct.
Malcolm Connolly also came to the house that day.
Yes, that's correct.
Mr. Connolly is one of the security guards, correct?
That is correct.
You had known Mr. Connolly for years at that point.
Yes, that's correct.
You flew back to Los Angeles the next day with Ben King. Is that right?
I can't be certain if it was the next day or the day after, but somewhere around there, yes.
And the day you arrived back in Los Angeles, you saw Travis McGivern, correct?
I don't recall seeing Travis, no.
You don't recall Mr. McGivern picking you up from the airport with Ben King?
I don't remember that, no.
And the same day, you also saw your own nurse, Erin Barem Filati, that day, correct? The day you arrived in Los Angeles?
I don't recall if I saw her that day.
You saw Miss Filati's testimony in this case by video deposition, correct?
That is correct.
And you heard her testify that she saw you the day you arrived back from Australia on March 9th, 2015.
I believe she testified that she came to dinner where I was with friends. Yeah, I believe that.
So she saw you that day?
I believe that evening I saw her at dinner.
Okay. And then you saw Erin Barem Filati again the next day for...
All right, so Doe says hello to Aaron. So, thank you, Doe. That was nice of you to say.
a private meeting, didn't you?
I'm not sure if that's what she testified to. I'd have to just see the records to know.
You heard her testify according to her notes. She met with you privately on March 10th, 2015.
She met with me at some point upon my arrival, but I don't remember the exact date.
And when you were in Australia, Ms. Heard, you didn't take any pictures of the injuries you claim to have sustained, right?
I did not take any pictures, no.
But you did take 2 pictures.
Of the mirrors. I took 2 pictures of the bathroom mirrors. That was the master bathroom where I was.
Let's please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 374, which is already in evidence. You took this picture, right, Ms. Heard?
Yes, that's correct.
And this is a mirror in the bathroom in Australia?
That's correct.
And this black paint on the mirror is from Mr. Depp?
That is correct.
He wrote on the mirror in black paint after his finger was cut off, right?
Yes, I only know that because there was blood as well as paint.
So you took this picture after Mr. Depp had injured his fingers, correct?
This was while I was packing when I was leaving.
That's a
when I
yes,
took
right,
the photo.
Ms. Heard?
That's, what's the question? I'm sorry.
You took this picture after Mr. Depp had injured his finger.
That's correct.
And you took this picture after you had allegedly been assaulted by Mr. Depp, yes?
That's correct.
Yet you didn't capture yourself in the mirror, did you?
I don't see myself in the mirror, no.
Let's please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 375. You took this picture as well, right, Ms. Heard?
That's correct.
And this is from one of the bathroom mirrors in Australia?
That's correct.
This is also a picture taken after Mr. Depp had injured his finger.
That's correct.
And this is also a picture taken after you had allegedly been assaulted by Mr. Depp.
That's correct.
You didn't capture yourself in the mirror in this picture either, did you?
I do not see myself in the mirror in that picture.
Is that because you didn't have any visible injuries on you?
It's because I was taking a picture of the writing.
Let's talk about the writing on this mirror. So the writing in black paint is from Mr. Depp, correct?
It's all from Mr. Depp.
And it's your testimony under oath that you did not write the red text that says, quote, "Call Carly Simon, she said it better, babe," end quote.
That's correct.
Because if you did write that, it means that your husband was walking around the house bleeding from his amputated finger, and you're writing snarky messages to him on a mirror, right?
I don't know what your question to me is. I'm sorry.
Let's please take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1830. And I believe this picture is also admitted into evidence.
That's correct.
This is a picture of the same mirror, right?
That's correct.
But you didn't take this picture.
No, I did not.
This is the one that Ben King took.
And I don't see him in the mirror either.
I don't believe he claimed he had injuries, though. Is that right?
I did not hear Ben King talk about his injuries, no.
Okay. So you would agree, Ms. Heard, that the black text on the mirror says, quote, "She loves naked photos of herself. So modern, so hot."
I had not read that yet. I mean, before. But yeah, that's what it says.
But you were taking pictures of the text, but you had not read that before?
I haven't seen this. It didn't make sense to me at the time when I read it in person.
Okay. Again, Mr. Depp wrote that.
I don't know who else would have.
So, Ms. Heard, just to be clear, it's your testimony that Mr. Depp also wrote the message in red about Carly Simon saying it better, right?
That's correct.
You know Carly Simon sang the song "You're So Vain," right?
I was told that.
So it's your testimony that Mr. Depp was writing messages to himself in the mirror back and forth.
The best I can describe it is it looked like a crazy conversation. It was on the walls, it was
With
on
himself.
lampshades, it was on cushions.
It's your testimony the crazy conversation was with himself.
That's what it looked like from the bloody messages I found.
And you would agree with me that in this photograph, the red text has been smudged with black paint, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's please pull up, if we can, Defendant's Exhibit 375 again. The black smudge isn't in this picture that you took, right?
That's correct.
So Mr. Depp must have not liked his own message to himself.
I'm not quite sure what was happening when Ben took his photograph, no.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 343, which is already in evidence, and play the portion from 1:57:21 through 1:58:54. It's a recording, Your Honor.
It's not to get you mad. It's just to get out of a bad situation while it's happening before it gets worse. In Australia, when we had the big fight where I lost the tip of my finger, at least 5 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms I went to
avoid talking to me, to avoid
escape
working it out. That's
to escape the fight.
You don't escape the fight. You escape the solution.
No.
You escape the solution.
No.
You escape figuring it out. We cannot work it out if you run away to the bathroom every time.
Listen to me. Listen to me. A boxer can't go 12 rounds without a fucking minute break.
I'm not giving you a minute break. You do it at minute 3 at the beginning of an argument.
No. There are rounds, man. And when it gets too fucking hairy, the ref splits them apart or whatever. But all I'm saying is, you can't have a solution if the argument just keeps mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting. I fucking go into the bathroom and sit on the floor. Bam, bam, bam. Here you come. I come out. Fight, crazy, escalated. I go split again, I go to another fucking bathroom or a bedroom or something. Knock, 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 bang, bang, bang. You kept coming to get me.
This is what really happened in Australia, isn't it, Ms. Heard?
I did knock on a bathroom door on the first night.
Not a bathroom door, 5 bathroom doors, and 2 bedrooms. Isn't
Johnny
that right?
is not an accurate historian of what happened during
Ms. Heard,
that
Ms.
period
Heard,
of time. I'll guarantee
Ms.
you
Heard, that's not my question. 5 bathroom doors, 2 bedrooms. That's what you knocked on. That's what
there.
actually happened in Australia, isn't it, Ms. Heard?
I was there.
So that's a
I
no?
remember it. I knocked on 1 bathroom door. I came on the first night after he decided to take the bag of MDMA.
Ms.
And I
Heard,
went to check
Ms.
on
Heard,
him and see
I'm going to
if we
move to
could-
strike everything after I knocked on 1 bathroom
She
door.
can't do that. She's answering the question.
Not quite, so I will sustain the objection. Just answer the question, okay, ma'am?
The recording we just listened to, that's exactly what happened in Australia. Mr. Depp lost the tip of his finger after you threw a bottle at him. Isn't that right?
That is incorrect.
You're the one who assaulted someone with a bottle in Australia. Isn't that right, Ms. Heard?
I didn't assault Johnny in Australia. I didn't assault Johnny ever. I couldn't.
And then after he was injured, he had to hide from you, right?
That is
In
incorrect.
5 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms.
That is incorrect.
And you would pursue him.
That is incorrect.
Because he was avoiding talking to you, right?
He did that first night when
he was
I tried to
avoiding-
talk to him about the drugs.
And he was avoiding working it out.
No, he was avoiding agreeing to not fight about the drugs.
You weren't scared of him at all, were you?
I have a mixed relationship with Johnny, and one in which I'm scared, one in which I love him very much.
I'm not talking about your mixed relationship. That night in Australia, after you cut off his finger with a bottle, you weren't scared of him at all, were you?
This is a man who tried to kill me. Of course it's scary. He's also my husband.
Ms. Hurd, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 371. I do not believe these have been admitted into evidence.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't have them.
If we can scroll down, please.
Is this one already there? That's right.
No.
Ms. Brederhoff, if you don't have your microphone on, I cannot hear you. You still don't have it on.
I need to take a look at the redacted. Oh. I need to take a look at the unredacted for a minute, Your Honor. Just bear with me.
All right.
I'm not admitting it into evidence yet. I would like to just
Okay, you
talk
can
to the
ask
witness
them.
about it
Go
if I
ahead.
could. Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Hurd, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 371. Do you recognize these text messages between you and Dr. Cowan?
I don't recognize these, no.
Who's Dr. Cowan?
He was my therapist that was recommended to me from Dr. Kipper. He and Dr. Kipper worked together.
He was your therapist at the time, correct?
That's correct.
And you had been seeing him for almost a year in March of 2015?
My guess would be about 6 months at that point.
Your text messages are in gray, correct?
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that she show her the unredacted so that she can see the text exchange back and
right,
forth
if you
if
can-
she wants to talk
Absolutely.
about
All right, we'll
moving
pull
the
that up.
unredacted
Sure.
later.
Let's go ahead and-
Thank you.
Pull it up.
Seeing these unredacted messages, does this refresh your recollection that these are indeed communications between you and Dr. Cowan?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Doctor, your text messages are in gray, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And Dr. Cowan's are in blue?
That is correct.
Okay. Do you see the text message at the bottom of the page from March 8th, 2015 at 8:29 p.m.?
Yes, that's correct.
March 8th is the day that you were allegedly sexually assaulted by Mr. Depp in Australia, correct?
That is correct.
So on March 8th, 2015, you were in Australia,
That is correct.
and Mr. Depp's finger had just been cut off, right?
That is correct.
And you write to Dr. Cowan, quote, "I feel so lost. I can't talk. I don't know if I'll ever be able to change," end quote. Did I read that correctly?
That's correct.
You weren't able to change, were you, Ms. Hurd?
I very much wanted to leave the relationship I was in, but I didn't have the power. I didn't feel I had the power to leave. I knew I was in a very toxic relationship with Johnny, and I knew I needed to change that. I knew it was, at this point, horrible for me. And I
I'm gonna
talked to
move
my
to
therapist
admit
often about that.
Defendant's Exhibit 371 as redacted with just Ms. Hurd's messages.
All right.
Your Honor, I object because she has left out the next two lines from Ms. Hurd that clarify even further, and I also think
Ms.
that
Bredehoff,
Dr. Cowan's...
Your Honor, may we
Yeah,
please
let's go.
approach?
Let's-
This is... I'm going to move to admit Defendant's Exhibit 371 as redacted.
All right, 371 in evidence as redacted over objection. Yes, ma'am.
If we can publish that to the jury, thank you. So you write, Ms. Hurd, to Dr. Cowan, I feel so lost. I can't talk. I don't know if I'll ever be able to change. Right?
And I said, I clearly can't figure this out, meaning the relationship.
You didn't say that. You said,
I did.
Not the relationship. Your text messages, clearly I can't figure this out. I feel so lost right now.
What I was saying to him
No,
is
Ms.
clearly I
Hurd,
can't
Ms.
figure
Hurd,
this
Ms.
out
Hurd,
as in
that's
the
not my question.
relationship.
The text. Just the text.
That's exactly what I was saying.
What you texted. Clearly, I can't figure this out. I feel so lost right now.
That's what
right.
I was saying.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Hurd, you contend...
Your Honor, just for clarification, so those two next lines did come in?
They are in the redacted
Okay,
copy.
good. All right, thank you.
Ms. Hurd, you contend that there's another incident of abuse in March of 2015 after you and Mr. Depp returned from Australia. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And this incident took place on March 23rd, 2015?
That's correct.
And this supposedly occurred in the penthouse at the Eastern Columbia building?
That's correct.
You had found text messages between Mr. Depp and another woman, right?
That is correct.
So you confronted him about cheating on you.
That's correct.
And this was about 2 weeks after you had returned from Australia.
That's correct.
So this is shortly after Mr. Depp supposedly sexually assaulted you with a bottle, right?
It was 2 weeks after he assaulted me, yes.
And you decided to confront him about cheating on you?
I didn't decide to. I wanted to.
Mr. Depp's finger was freshly injured at this point, right?
He had a cast on it.
The top of his right finger had been cut off 2 weeks prior.
That is correct.
And he had a pin in his finger, true?
I don't recall when the pen was placed.
A skin graft?
I'm not quite sure. He had several different procedures and they were kind of spread out over a period of time, so I don't remember what happened and when
One of those
exactly.
procedures was to treat the MRSA that got on his finger too, right?
At some point, I knew he had an infection.
And his right hand was in a bandage, right?
It was casted.
So it's your testimony that Mr. Depp was able to attack both you and your sister with his hand in that state, right?
That is correct. He had a hard plaster cast on it.
Debbie Lloyd was present in the penthouses when Mr. Depp supposedly attacked you. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
In fact, you claim that Mr. Depp threw a Red Bull can at Miss Lloyd that evening.
Yes, that's correct.
And you put in a sworn statement to that effect in the UK case, right?
That is correct.
But that's not true, is it?
That's what happened.
You know what a deposition is, right, Ms. Hurd?
I've had several, yes.
Yeah, so you know it's when someone provides testimony under oath.
That is correct.
You're aware that Miss Lloyd was deposed in connection with this case, correct?
That is true.
And Miss Lloyd's deposition testimony was played earlier in this trial, right?
I'm going to object, Your Honor. May we approach?
All right.
So in a deposition, Ms. Hurd, you know it's when someone provides testimony under oath, right?
That's correct.
And you're aware that Miss Lloyd was deposed in connection with this case.
That's correct.
And Miss Lloyd's deposition testimony was played earlier in this trial.
Yes.
So you heard Miss Lloyd testify under oath that Mr. Depp never threw a can of Red Bull at her.
I can't remember if she didn't recall that or if she said it didn't happen. I don't remember.
Anthony said, yeah, what did... Yes, she did. What is that? Yeah, so she... What the what Depp's attorney is doing is she's asking her a bunch of questions about questioning her behavior with Depp. That way she can go and measure out the situation to get Amber to keep on talking to, therefore expose herself. If you're talking about something specific, I'm not quite sure what you meant, Anthony, exactly, but to answer your question, though, yeah, his attorney was questioning everything that she was doing because Amber opened the door by saying things, and then she went and pounced on her, rightfully so, and doing an excellent job at exposing Amber because Amber just goes and exposes herself in that situation. And yes, Depp is enjoying playing his Pac-Man.
Remember. I vaguely sense she didn't recall anything.
So it's your testimony that Miss Lloyd would forget that Mr. Depp, a very famous patient of hers, threw a can of Red Bull that nearly missed her, according to your version of events?
To be fair, I just don't remember if she said when she testified that she didn't recall that incident or if it didn't happen. I don't remember what she testified to. But I have a vague sense that she didn't recall much at all.
She recalled, and she testified in this courtroom, that Mr. Depp never threw a can of Red Bull at her. That was her testimony, wasn't it?
I don't recall what her testimony was with regards to that one incident, no.
You actually filed a complaint against Miss Lloyd's nursing license right before she was supposedly deposed in this case, didn't you?
No, I don't believe I did.
Are you aware that someone filed a complaint against Miss Lloyd's nursing license in connection with her care of Mr. Depp for failing to report abuse?
No, I had no idea. You're the first person to let me know about that.
It's your testimony under oath, that wasn't you?
That is my testimony. I didn't even know about that until now.
Travis McGivern was also present when Mr. Depp supposedly attacked you, correct?
He walked in at some point.
And you heard his testimony that it was actually you who punched Mr. Depp. Isn't that right?
It's always been my own testimony that I hit Johnny.
And you who was throwing things at Mr. Depp.
I hit him in defense of my sister. I didn't have anything to throw at him. I never threw anything at him. I hit him when he attacked me and my sister. Specifically when he moved for her. That's when I hit him.
Since your testimony under oath, you threw nothing at Mr. Depp. Mr. McGivern's lying.
I have thrown things at Johnny,
No,
to be clear, but not that
thrown things
occasion.
that evening.
Not on that occasion.
Since your testimony, Mr. McGivern imagined that you were throwing things at Mr. Depp from the mezzanine level down towards where Mr. Depp and Mr. McGivern were standing.
Well, he certainly wasn't going to say it about his client.
Ms. Heard, you and Mr. Depp kept a journal together, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
You wrote each other messages in that journal, right?
That is true.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 91. I'm only going to be showing you certain portions of this, so if we could please call this Plaintiff's Exhibit 91A. This is the journal that you and Mr. Depp kept with each other in electronic form, correct?
That is correct.
And if we could scroll through, these are all entries that you made in the journal, correct?
Is it done? Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm going to move for the admission of Plaintiff's Exhibit 91A, and I've gone ahead and redacted Mr. Depp's writings as on hearsay grounds.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. May we approve?
Okay.
It's a picture,
They haven't given me the pages yet. Your Honor.
You tell me which page.
writing them down.
Okay, let's write them down first. Sorry, Judy. Let's write them down first.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, all right.
If we could please publish this to the jury.
All right. 91A in evidence.
Thank you.
Over objection.
This is a picture that's on the inside cover of the Love notebook, correct?
That's correct.
And this is a picture of you and Mr. Depp?
That's correct.
And you're in Australia in this picture, aren't you?
Yes, but that's much later once we returned.
You can see that Mr. Depp's right hand is bandaged, right?
Yes, that's correct. That was after it had recovered significantly. That's not what it looked like during the incident we were just talking about.
So this is a picture after the events in Australia in March of 2015, correct?
Yes, that photograph was taken months later.
We have the jury look at that photograph again, please. Let's now turn to page 3. This is a note you wrote in the journal to Mr. Depp, correct?
That's what it looks like, yes.
This is actually the first note you wrote to him in this journal.
I don't remember what the first note was.
The date on this note is May 22nd, 2015, correct?
That is correct. That was during our honeymoon period.
This is just a little bit over 2 months after the events in Australia in March of 2015, right?
That's correct. We were back in a honeymoon phase. That was the period of sobriety I spoke about yesterday.
When after Mr. Depp had allegedly assaulted you with a bottle, right?
It was after the stairs and it was after the Australia incident, yes. And he got clean and sober and we went back to Australia.
It's also 2 months after you punched Mr. Depp because you allegedly thought he was going to throw your sister down the stairs, right?
I hit him when he swung at my sister. And this is written months later, yes.
You thought he was going to throw your sister down the stairs like he had thrown Kate Moss down the stairs, right?
He swung at Whitney, and I had heard a vague rumor about that. And so it's what I thought of.
In this first message to Mr. Depp in your journal, you write, quote, "True love isn't about just the madness of passion or instead picking the safety of peace. No, it's about having both, falling madly in love with your friend. That is what has surprised me perhaps the most, that I have seen in you the true bones of friendship and respect. But of course, I still, perhaps more than ever, want to rip you apart, devour you, and savor the taste. Fret not. XX Slim."
Yes, it's a love note.
Did I read that correctly?
Yes, you did.
And you're Slim, right?
That's correct.
Ms. Hurd, I'm now going to ask you to take a look at the very last entry you wrote in this journal, which seems to be from April 8th. That would be April 8th, 2016, correct?
I'm not quite sure. I don't see the year written on there, and I don't recognize it yet.
It would be a couple weeks. April 8th would be a couple weeks before your birthday, though, right?
That's correct.
Just to confirm, this is a note you wrote to Mr. Depp, right?
That's what it looks like, yes.
And on the second page of this note, you wrote the following. Quote, "I'm sorry I can get crazy. I'm sorry I hurt you. Like you, I can get wicked when I am hurt, when I feel provoked, shattered. And last night I was. I felt abandoned about the Lily Rose thing, felt absolutely bewildered about your not coming home on my last night here, and was heartbroken and angry after many attempts in vain on my part to rectify the situation and make amends on the last night of what was otherwise a gorgeous trip with you. I am so sorry for my part. None of this is meant to be an excuse for hurting you, because the truth is, nothing is. There is never a reason good enough to hurt you. You are the last thing in the whole world who deserves it. Last person I ever meant to hurt. I love you, Steve. I am forever yours, Slim." Did I read that correctly?
That's correct.
Thank you. Ms. Hurd, let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 423, which is already in evidence. This is a picture of you with what appears to be straight red marks on your arms, correct?
Those are scars from the broken glass.
And they're straight and red. right?
I disagree with how you characterize that, but they are red, yes.
And they're on your left arm?
Yes, that's correct.
Ms. Hurd, you have a history of cutting yourself, don't you?
I do not.
You cut your arm once as a teenager, isn't that right?
No, I said I wanted to. When I was put on birth control pills when I was a teenager, I felt crazy, and I said I felt suicidal.
Since your testimony under oath that you didn't report to Dr. Hughes, your retained psychologist, that you had cut yourself as a teenager once?
I said I had told my mom that I wanted to when I was a teenager.
Ms. Hurd, we heard some testimony from you yesterday about a trip you and Mr. Depp took on a train in Southeast Asia. Do you recall that?
Yes, that's correct.
That was when you and Mr. Depp went on your honeymoon trip, correct?
That's correct.
And that was in July of 2015?
Yes, that sounds right.
Let's take a look at Plaintiff's Exhibit 162, which is already in evidence. You were here in this courtroom, right, Ms. Hurd, when Malcolm Connolly testified to taking this picture?
That's correct.
This is the picture. This picture shows an injury to Mr. Depp's face, doesn't it?
I disagree. I've seen this picture.
Okay, Ms. Hurd,
I've seen
I got
this
the
picture
answer. Thank
before,
you.
and
You disagree?
he's not injured in it.
He's not injured in this picture. That's your testimony. Fine.
This one is Photoshop.
Ms. Hurd, I have your answer. Thank you. This is the only photograph from your honeymoon that shows someone with an injury, correct?
That's not true.
We haven't seen any photos of injuries to your face from that train trip, have we?
I don't believe my face was injured on that trip.
Let's take a look at Exhibit 91A at page 46, going back to the Love Journal. This is a note from you to Mr. Depp, right?
That is correct.
This is a note you wrote on July 22nd, 2015.
That is correct.
And it starts off with the words, "My husband, happy honeymoon," right?
That's correct.
Ms. Hurd, please take a look at Plaintiff's Exhibit 91A at page 67. This is another note from you to Mr. Depp in your journal, right?
That is correct.
And this one is dated August 1st, 2015.
That's correct.
And you write, "That's enough. You've held this book hostage long enough. Although I can't wait to read my note, I also couldn't wait to tell you how much I adore you. What a beautiful, extraordinary, magical, memorable, wonderful, stunning, surprisingly evolving, and impulsive adventure. I couldn't have imagined a more gorgeous honeymoon. I love you more and more every passing day. XX Slim." Did I read that right?
That is correct.
Let's take a look at the journal entry starting on page 68. This is another entry from you writing to Mr. Depp, right?
That is correct.
And this one's dated August 2nd.
That is correct, yes.
And this one is a longer one, so let's go to where it ends on page 70 of the journal. And you write, quote, "I hope that things said in anger and pain were just that, and that you miss and love me too. And that is what matters most to you. You may say you stand by everything you said and did, and that there is nothing you can learn from this, but I don't feel that way. And it's important for me that you know that. I love you and I'm sorry. I miss my warm, loving husband. XX Slim."
That is correct.
And sad, the word sad is crossed out.
That is true.
Next, we have a journal entry from you on page 89. This is another note from you to Mr. Depp?
That is correct. The whole book is love notes.
So this is dated August 15th, correct?
That is correct.
And here you write, quote, "My love, why do we fight? Ever? Why? I love you more than anything else. Are we that uncomfortable with being vulnerable? Were we scared? Or is it something else? I don't know. But I am sure of one thing, and if it's that I can't imagine my life without you. I love you. I will do better. I am sorry. X Slim." Did I read that correctly?
That is correct.
Your testimony, this was a love journal
That is correct. It was primarily love notes and
apology notes from you to Mr. Depp?
The book was more of a love note book, and part of that communication, obviously, since we fought so much, it was important for me to, try to nurture as much peace as we possibly could. And when things were good, they were really good.
And it was also an opportunity for you to apologize to Mr. Depp for your behavior, isn't it?
I think it's important in every relationship to apologize when you're trying to move past fights.
Let's look at an entry from August 17, 2015, starting on page 90. Here you write, quote, "I'm sorry I shook the wheels so hard. I'm sorry we've tested the shocks and brakes to this point. God damn, I
Not long after this, you met Mr. Waldman in the late summer or fall of 20.
Well, what is related to the story about me getting?
It just yes or no, Mr. Depp. I don't. I
So
didn't
life
ask
does
what
not
related,
come down to
what
yes or
story
no at all
related to.
times. I can't please you with a yes or a no every single time.
It's a yes or no question, Mr. Depp. You tried to get Ms. Heard fired, didn't you?
Answer's no.
All right, let's pull up Exhibit 821.
Is that
Mr.
me
Depp,
trying to
is
get her
this-
fired?
This is a text message that you had with your sister, Christy Dombrowski. She was the first witness in this case, right?
She doesn't work at Warner Brothers.
She-
You can't fire Amber.
Yeah. This is a text message you had with her on June 4th, 2016, isn't it?
June 12th, yes.
Your Honor, move for the admission of Exhibit 821 as redacted.
Any objection?
We would object on relevance grounds, Your Honor.
I'll overrule that objection, 821 in evidence.
And on June 4th, 2016, Mr. Depp, you texted your sister, "I want her replaced on that W film." Did I read that right?
You did.
Her is referring to Amber, right?
That's correct.
And WB is Warner Brothers, correct?
Again, Chris.
And then after you sent this text to your sister, following the temporary restraining order, you reached out to Guy Silverstein to have him fire Amber, correct?
Who?
It's Greg Silverstein, I'm sorry.
I don't recall reaching out to Greg Silverstein.
You reached out to Sue Kroll to get him to
Particularly.
fire Miss Heard, right?
I had vetted Miss Heard. And I had vetted Miss Heard.
Mr. Depp, you got your chance
Warner
to speak
Brothers
this morning.
had,
Your Honor,
Warner Brothers
Sorry.
had two franchises.
Mr. Depp, if you could just answer the question, sir. All right, next question.
You reached out to Greg Silverstein to get him to try to get Amber fired from Aquaman, didn't you?
Asked and
reached-
answered.
Excuse me?
Asked and answered.
It's a yes or no question that he hasn't answered, yes or no.
All right.
Yes or no, sir? You reached out to Greg Silverstein to try to get Amber fired from Aquaman.
Second half of your question is wrong, sir.
You
I
reached out to Sue
them
Kroll.
because I vetted her.
No, Mr. Depp. You reached out to Sue
What
Kroll
would you
to
like?
get
I
her
don't
to try to get her to help you get Amber fired from Aquaman, didn't you?
No.
And you reached out to Kevin Sujihara to try to get him to help you get Amber fired from Aquaman, didn't you?
No.
Can you pull up Exhibit 857, please? Mr. Depp, this is a text message that you sent to Christian Carino on August 15th, 2016, correct?
This is already in evidence, correct? Or is it 857?
Parts of it are.
Oh, so not this.
Not this version.
Well, this can't be 857, then don't.
850, sorry.
Mr. Unbert, you can't do this to me.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Understood. We'll call it 857A.
857A. Okay. All right. Yes, sir. Thank you.
My apologies, Your Honor. Mr. Depp, you sent this text to Christian Carino on August 15th?
I most certainly did.
Okay. And in this text that you sent to Christian, Christian Carino is the person who used to be Amber's agent and then was your agent for a time, correct?
That is correct.
And in this text, Your Honor, permission to publish, please.
Do you want to put in evidence first?
Move for admission of
Any
857A.
objection?
No objection.
All right. 857A, as redacted, will be in evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. And in this text, Mr. Depp, you said, she's begging for total global humiliation. She's going to get it. I'm going to need your texts about San Francisco, brother. I'm even sorry to ask, but she sucked Mollusk's crooked dick and he gave her some shitty lawyers. I have no mercy, no fear, and not an ounce of emotion, or what I once thought was love for this gold-digging, low-level, dime-a-dozen, mushy, pointless, dangling, overused, flappy fish market. I'm so fucking happy she wants to go to fight this out. She will hit the wall hard, and I cannot wait to have this waste of a cum guzzler out of my life. I met a fucking sublime little Russian here, which made me realize the time I blew on that 50-cent stripper. I wouldn't touch her with a goddamn glove. I can only hope that karma kicks in and takes the gift of breath from her. Sorry, man, but now I will stop at nothing. Let's see if Mollusk has a pair. Come see me face to face. I'll show him things he's never seen before, like the other side of his dick when I slice it off. Did I read that right?
You did.
Now,
Yeah, exactly. Ben Carrot. Good evening, Moki. And yeah, hopefully they have a trial tomorrow, sometime this week. I really. Oh, Anthony says I declare a mistrial because I missed it. Yeah. Hopefully there is a trial tomorrow, and when I start the stream, I was doing some things with Bubbles, and I was playing the trial, and Anthony was really interested to see the different scenes in the trial, so I kept on playing it. And I love playing this trial periodically. So yeah, Flappy Fish Market is pretty mean, yeah. Yeah, Anthony, during the summer, when I was reacting to this, it was wild. Like, that was a while. Oh yeah, shout out to the trial chat peeps. I mean, the last summer, the summer that we just had was awesome, and watching these trials again is really fun. So yeah, when I was reacting to this, it was wild, and I remember, all those feelings came back. Remember when I first saw it. So that was fun to see. So yeah, Anthony, this is like one of the funniest scenes, and the other one was Officer Squarehead. Was another one that he did. He called someone Officer Squarehead. That's basically what I am. But that was another saying of Depp that was hilarious. You did with a smile. Yeah. So Flappy, and recently we've been reacting to Darrell Brooks. Anthony, are you familiar with Darrell Brooks? I'm just curious. And that's another character that was really interesting. So yeah, with Depp, very good comebacks, and the way that Rottenborn reads it is hysterical. Yeah.
not long after this, you can take that down, Michelle, thank you. Not long after this, you met Mr. Waldman in the late summer or fall of 2016, correct?
57A, as redacted, will be in evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. And in this text, Mr. Depp, you said she's begging for total humiliation. She's going to get it. I'm gonna need your text about San Francisco, brother. I'm even sorry to ask, but she sucked Mollusk's crooked dick and he gave her some shitty lawyers. I have no mercy, no fear, and not an ounce of emotion, or what I once thought was love for this gold-digging, low-level, dime-a-dozen, mushy, pointless, dangling, overused, flappy fish market. I'm so fucking happy she wants to go to fight this out. She will hit the wall hard, and I cannot wait to have this waste of a cum guzzler out of my life. I met a fucking sublime little Russian here, which made me realize the time I blew on that 50-cent stripper. I wouldn't touch her with a goddamn glove. I can only hope that karma kicks in and takes the gift of breath from her. Sorry, man, but now I will stop at nothing. Let's see if Mollusk has a pair. Come see me face to face. I'll show him things he's never seen before, like the other side of his dick when I slice it off. Did I read that right?
You did?
Now, not long after this, you can take that down, Michelle, thank you. Not long after this, you met Mr. Waldman in the late summer, fall 2016, correct?
September, October, somewhere in there, whatever.
And he's been your attorney since then, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you met with him with the Daily Mail in London in February 2020, didn't you?
I'm sorry, again?
You and Mr. Waldman together met with the Daily Mail in London in February 2020, didn't you?
For the record, there's a turd on her head. There's a Timu turd on her head. Yep. That was Rottenborn. He took some speed, and he went... I know he needs to talk slower. He was so excited and so turned on by what Depp was saying, he just couldn't control himself. I do agree he needs to slow it down, and Rottenborn has rottenly agreed, reluctantly, to turn it down. So let's to slow it down. So let's see him in slow motion.
Give her some shitty lawyers. I have no mercy, no fear, and not an ounce of emotion, or what I once thought was love for this gold-digging, low-level, dime-a-dozen, mushy, pointless, dangling, overused, flappy fish market. I'm so fucking happy she wants to go to fight this out. She will hit the wall hard. And I cannot wait to have this waste of a cum guzzler out of my life. I met a fucking sublime little Russian here, which made me realize the time I blew on that 50-cent stripper. I wouldn't touch her with a goddamn glove. I can only hope that karma kicks in and takes the gift of breath from her. Sorry, man, but now I will stop at nothing. Let's see if Mollusk has a pair. Come see me face to face. I'll show him things he's never seen before, like the other side of his dick when I slice it off. Did I read that right?
You did.
Now, not long after this, you can take that down, Michelle. Thank you. Text, Mr. Depp. You said, she's begging for total global humiliation. She's gonna get it. I'm gonna need your texts about San Francisco, brother. I'm even sorry to ask, but she sucked Mollusk's crooked dick and he gave her some shitty lawyers. I have no mercy, no fear, and not an ounce of emotion, or what I once thought was love for this gold-digging, low-level, dime-a-dozen, mushy, pointless, dangling, overused, flappy fish market. I'm so fucking happy she wants to go to fight this out. She will hit the wall hard. And I cannot wait to have this waste of a cum guzzler out of my life. I met a fucking sublime little Russian here, which made me realize the time I blew on that 50-cent stripper. I wouldn't touch her with a goddamn glove. I can only hope that karma kicks in and takes the gift of breath from her. Sorry, man, but now I will stop at nothing. Let's see if Mollusk has a pair. Come see me face to face. I'll show him things he's never seen before, like the other side of his dick when I slice it off. Did I read that right?
You did.
Now, not long after this, you can take that down, Michelle, thank you, was your agent for a time, correct?
That is correct.
And in this text, you... Oh, your permission, please.
No objection. All right. 57A. That's redacted. Will be evidence.
In this text, Mr. Depp, you said, she's begging for total level humiliation. She's going to get it. I'm going to need your text about San Francisco, brother. I'm even sorry to ask, but she sucked Mollusk's pretty dick and he gave her some shitty lawyers. I have no mercy, no fear, and not an ounce of emotion for what I once thought was love for this gold-digging, low-level, dime-a-dozen, mushy, pointless, dangling, overused, flappy fish market. I'm so fucking happy she wants to go to fight this out. She will hit the wall hard, and I cannot wait to have this waste of a cum guzzler out of my life. I met a fucking sublime little Russian here, which made me realize the time I blew on that 50-cent stripper. I wouldn't touch her with a goddamn glove. I can only hope that karma kicks in and takes the gift of breath from her. Sorry, man, but now I will stop at nothing. Let's see if Mollusk has a pair. Come see me face to face. I'll show him things he's never seen before, like the other side of his dick when I slice it off. Did I read that right?
You did.
Now, not long after this, you can take that, Michelle, thank you. Not long after this, you met Mr. Waldman in the late summer, fall 2016, correct?
September, October, somewhere in there.
And he's been your attorney since then, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you met with him with the Daily Mail in...
And also, Depp keeps a straight face, which I think is impressive, because that is... It's very, very humorous. And the way that Rottenborn hears it. Oh, hello. Oh, yeah, Aaron. Yeah, this text is going to be the phantom that haunts you. Fast-paced and slow-mo. Scared. Scared. Skirt. 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 Yeah, like, this text message is going to be the ghost that haunts those at night. It's going to haunt all of us. Scared. There'll be flashbacks and counseling, and it's like, it's that text message that will start the flashbacks again. Yeah. So, yeah, that was quite impressive. The flabby fish market of shenanigans. Yeah.
in London in February 2020, didn't you?
I'm sorry, again?
You and Mr. Waldman together met with the Daily Mail in London in February 2020, didn't you?
Are you asking me a question about my attorney and I?
Yeah, that you two met with people from the Daily Mail in London in February 2020.
Was that during the London trial?
No.
No?
No, in February.
I don't recall it, though.
Okay.
I don't.
To the extent Mr. Waldman testified that you did, you don't dispute that, correct?
I just don't recall it.
Okay. You don't disagree with Mr. Waldman's testimony that you and he met with people from the Daily Mail in London in February 2020, correct?
If that's Mr. Waldman's testimony, then...
Okay.
But I just didn't necessarily know who these people were.
Right.
I guess.
The same month that the Daily Mail released alleged tapes between you and Amber.
Objection
Correct.
calls for speculation. Lack of personal knowledge.
Alleged.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Now, Mr. Depp, you testified, and I wrote it down before lunch. You said, when Ms. Myers asked you something about, how does it feel to make you, or how does it feel to be here? You said, I've been living with it for 6 years and waiting to be able to get the truth out. Remember saying that?
Yes.
You also said, I've spoken up for what I've been carrying on my back. Something to that effect. Do you remember saying that?
Yes.
And you've claimed several times in this proceeding, Mr. Depp, that this trial is your first chance to tell your story, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
But that's just not true, is it, Mr. Depp? That's not true.
No, for me it is true.
Okay, well, here's the thing. The fact is, Mr. Depp, when Dan Wooten wrote an article that was published in The Sun calling you a wife beater, you brought a lawsuit against The Sun in June of 2018, correct?
Yes, I brought
And that was 6 months before Miss Heard ever wrote her op-ed, correct?
I don't know.
And in the summer of 2020, there was a several-week trial in London against The Sun, correct?
Ms. Hood was not a party to that trial. Was she?
Not my question, Mr. Depp. In the article that The Sun wrote that you sued over, you sued for Mr. Wooten calling you a wife beater, correct?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained. Next question.
And in the trial that you subsequently brought, you called a lot of witnesses, right?
I don't know what a lot is. I don't know.
Many people testified on both sides of the trial, correct?
Yes, many people.
And many exhibits were introduced, correct?
Like a trial, yes.
And you, just like in this trial, you were on the stand for several days in that trial, correct?
Yes, sir, I was.
And that trial involved the same factual issues that you are litigating here, which is whether
Objection
you committed
calls
domestic
for
abuse
illegal.
against Amber Heard.
Sustain the objection. Next question.
You brought that case against the Sun because you were angry at the Sun for calling you a wife beater, correct?
Yeah, that's
And you
probably a pretty good reason.
And you went through that trial in London, correct?
I did indeed, yes.
Mr. Depp, you've already had a chance to tell your story, haven't you?
No, there
Objection
were
asked and
great
answered.
limitations in the UK trial.
Overruled. Okay.
No further questions.
All right. Redirect. Thank you.
Mr. Depp, Mr. Rottenborn asked you some questions about the UK trial. Why do you feel that this is the first time that you've actually had an opportunity to tell your story and, as you said, get the load off your back?
As the UK trial was me suing Dan Wooten and the Sun for defamation for calling me a wife beater. The UK have there are different laws, there are different ways they handle things. There are also limitations in evidence. Some things can be brought up, some things cannot be
Your Honor,
brought
as I
up.
said,
And
it calls
Mr.
for a legal
Rottenborn.
conclusion. He's talking about limitations in evidence in the English.
Your Honor, he's talking about his experience testifying.
Overruled.
You'll be okay. Yes, there is a very everything is quite boxed in with regard to what can be said, what can be spoken about. So, Ms. Heard provided information to the Sun as their star witness, but the case was not brought against Ms. Heard. It was brought against the Sun newspaper, journal, whatever it is.
Mr. Rottenborn referenced that you were on the stand for multiple days.
4.5, I believe, yes.
Yeah. What was the nature of that examination? Or, excuse me, who was conducting that examination of you?
QC Sasha Was,
And whose attorney was that?
the Sun's.
Can we please pull up DX 857A?
All right. It's already in evidence, so you can publish it.
Mr. Depp, do you recall seeing this text message when Mr. Rottenborn was questioning you?
Oh, yes, I do.
Can you explain what you're conveying to Mr. Carino in this text message?
I'm in total shock that this is happening to me, that my entire life on the planet has been brought to the head of a pin with all this completely, utterly false information. So I am, when you're accused of horrific acts and things that you have not done, when it's actually some very ugly things that are going out there into the world about you on a non-stop basis by Ms. Heard and her team, you have a tendency, as humans, to get very, very irate and angry. Not to the point where you go out and hurt someone, not to the point even where you assault a cabinet. But you do get irate. You do wonder why this person is doing this to me. So yeah, many things go through your head. And then you've got your family, you've got your kids, you've got your parents. My mom, thankfully, didn't get to read any of this, because that would have killed her. But my father, my family, everyone that I've met, the people that have supported me, suddenly I'm scum. And why? Never had to happen. One little lie. So yes, very angry.
Could we please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 821? Mr. Depp, do you recall seeing this text message when Mr. Ottenborn was asking you questions?
Yes, he loves this one, yes.
Yes. Would you care to explain what you're trying to convey in this text message?
Well, Warner Brothers was about to find themselves in quite a dilemma as the person that they had just cast.
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of foundation as to what Warner Brothers knew or thought.
Didn't I meet with them?
All right. If you could just wait for the question. I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Mr. Depp, without explaining what Warner Brothers felt, why did you send this text message to your sister? And what were, excuse me, strike that. What were you trying to convey to your sister when you sent this text message?
Honestly, I felt responsibility for having gone to those people and you know, painted such a beautiful picture.
Objection. Hearsay, Your Honor. Now he's talking about what he said to Warner Brothers.
Overruled.
Please continue.
You change seats.
So, sorry, you can continue.
I felt it was my responsibility to get the truth to Warner Brothers about what they were going to end up facing down the line, which is 2 franchises that would be causing problems for one another, especially as any news, any press, any media that came out about me at that time had been turned into, you know, I was Charles Manson, you know, I was the worst thing on earth, and they just kept coming. It was like a non-stop fire. So my responsibility, after having painted a beautiful picture of her for them, was to tell them, I think you better.
Objection, Your Honor. He's getting into what he claims he told Warner Brothers or wanted to.
He's saying what he wanted to tell them. He's not saying what he actually told them.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Mr. Depp, you mentioned 2 franchise films with Warner Brothers. What 2 franchise films are you referring to?
There was Aquaman and Fantastic Beasts, the one that I was in.
And why did you feel a responsibility with respect to those 2 franchise films?
Warner Brothers was starting to get quite upset about some of the things that were being said about me in the press that were constant hit pieces. You know, on one level, on one level, yes, it's just acting, it's just movies, but it's business, and it's your word. And I had given my word to them, and I felt responsible that I had to tell them exactly what was going on, and that it was going to end up ugly.
And which of those two film franchises were you a part of?
I'm sorry?
Which of those two film franchises were you a part of?
I was in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and I was in the Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Could we please pull up DX 883? Now, Mr. Depp, do you recall seeing these text messages during Mr. Rottenborn's examination?
Oh, God, yeah. Yes, I remember.
And you didn't seem to recall these text messages. Is that
It truly is fair. It's not, I'm not...
Do you have any?
Knows. I don't know who Molly is. I don't know nothing about this.
Do you have any understanding of what you're referring to in this text message? Or these two text messages?
No. I honestly, if somebody else had borrowed my phone or something and made this text to Stephen, possibly. But I don't understand the... I don't have that kind of, I don't have that kind of hubris or expectation. That's quite grotesque text.
Can we take that down, please? Can we please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 1821? Mr. Depp, do you recognize this document?
That is behind the bar, yes.
Okay. And do you see Mr. Ronborn asked you some questions about whether there was a telephone
Yes,
in
now
Australia.
I see a telephone there now.
Yes. And did you recall that telephone being there?
I don't recall the telephone being there, but I can see it now.
Can we please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 1820? Do you recall me showing you this text message earlier on? Or excuse me, do you recall
yes,
me showing
you
this picture
Yes.
during your examination?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And I think I asked you whether you recall a phone being mounted on the wall in the left of this picture. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And what was your answer to that?
No.
Mr. Depp, Mr. Rottenborn asked you some questions about your honeymoon. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I believe you had testified that you and Miss Heard were on the Orient Express together.
That's correct, yes.
Where had you been prior to being on the Orient Express?
We had been in Australia. And then made it over to Thailand to catch the Orient Express.
Okay. If we could bring up the Plaintiff's Exhibit 162 again. Mr. Depp, do you know who took this picture?
Malcolm Connolly.
And despite what Mr. Rottenborn showed you about the picture of you prior to this, do you see a bruise on your face in this picture?
I see like what looks like a pretty decent shiner and a kind of a scratched up nose, yes.
And do you recall how you got the scratches and the shiner?
There was a very brief freak out that Miss Hurd had in our cabin just before this dinner. I can't remember why, but there were many. I remember taking the photograph, though. I mean, I remember being there. I remember meeting the chef and all. But I mean, the quality of the photo is not great. The quality of the other photo that he showed us is prettied up.
Mr. Depp, did you ever physically abuse Ms. Hurd during your relationship?
Never. Never.
No further questions.
All right, sir, you can have a seat next to your attorneys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Your next witness.
Mr. Depp calls Morgan Tremaine.
Didn't quite get that, I'm sorry.
Mr. Depp calls Morgan Tremaine.
All right, Morgan Tremaine.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case in the penalty of law?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tremaine.
Hello?
Would you please state your full name for the record?
Morgan Cliff Tremaine.
And what do you do for a living?
I produce esports events and design video games.
And in 2016, what did you do for a living?
I worked as the field assignment manager at TMZ.
What is TMZ?
TMZ is an entertainment news website and television show.
And what were your responsibilities as a field assignment manager for TMZ?
I was the go-between the news desk in the office and the reporters in the field, which you might know as paparazzi.
Approximately how many paparazzis were you in charge of?
At the time, it was about 20 in LA, a handful, maybe 3 in New York, and then 1 in DC.
And what were your responsibilities specifically as to the paparazzi?
It would be to dispatch paparazzi to various locations based on tips or just direction dictated by having a list of sort of hot spots where celebrities would be.
And how were those tips received?
They were received either through tips that we received through our tip line or directly through news producers in the office.
And were tips frequently received directly from sources?
Very often the case, yeah.
And who were the type of sources that TMZ received tips from?
They would receive tips from, oftentimes it would be publicists, managers, agents, or B-list celebrities.
Lawyers?
And lawyers, definitely.
How are tips verified?
Tips are verified by an extensive process. If they come in through our tip line, we have to verify who sent it, that the source is truthful, and so they have to add their contact information, which is a field in that on that website for like name, phone number, things like that.
And how long did that process typically take?
If we receive a tip through the tip line, it could take a while because that would need to be, if it was a tip, we would need to verify it. If it was media, such as photos or videos, that would need to be extensively verified to ensure that the person sending it is the copyright holder and that we would have the legal ability to air it and distribute it.
And while working for TMZ, were you involved in any assignments related to Ms. Hurd?
I was.
What was the first time you recall working on an assignment related to Ms. Hurd?
I believe it was May 27th, 2016.
And what was your role in that assignment?
For that, Ms. Heard was filing a restraining order at a courthouse in downtown Los Angeles. So I dispatched camera people to that location.
Under what circumstances would you normally send paparazzi to a courthouse?
Only if we had been informed prior. It's not by any means a celebrity hotspot. We would only ever send people there if we had been tipped off that something was occurring and there was somebody present there.
And what footage was TMZ trying to capture at the LA courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
We were trying to capture Amber leaving the courthouse and an alleged bruise on the right side of her face.
What was your team of paparazzi supposed to do while they were at the LA courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay and foundation.
What were they supposed to do?
Right. She's asking for, I don't think there's a foundational
I'll
hearsay.
overrule the objection at this point. We'll see.
Go ahead, Mr. Tremaine.
Can you state the question again?
What was your team of paparazzi supposed to do while they were at the Los Angeles courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
Their objective was to capture her leaving the courthouse, and then she was going to sort of stop and turn towards the camera to display the bruise on the right side of her face, the alleged bruise.
Did your team of videographers get the shot of Amber Heard?
We did.
What is the difference between receiving a tip from a news producer and any other source?
If it's any other source, it would have to be verified by copyright. If it was anything that was received directly through a news producer, then they go through that process to verify the source.
Did you do anything to verify the tip on May 27th, 2016 related to Amber Heard?
I did not,
Why not?
because it had come directly from a news producer.
Does that mean it had been verified?
It means that they had verified that tip and deemed that it was credible, and therefore a camera person needed to be dispatched.
After May 27th, 2016, were you involved in any other assignments related to Amber Heard?
Yes.
Can you tell me about those assignments?
The next one would have been August 6th, 2016, where she was giving a deposition.
So what did you do in relation to that tip?
I dispatched camera people to a parking lot adjacent to a law office in which she would be arriving to, so we could get the footage of her arriving for the deposition.
Do you typically send paparazzis to parking lots of law offices?
No, not at all.
Did you get the shot of Miss Heard on August 6, 2016?
We did.
After August 6, 2016, were you involved in any other stories involving Miss Heard?
Yes, I was.
And what story was that?
On the 12th, we received a video depicting Johnny Depp slamming some cabinets that was captured by Ms. Heard.
And what day was that?
I believe that was the August 12th
Of 2016?
of 2016, yes.
Can you describe to the jury how you received the video on August 12, 2016?
Yes, the video was sent in through our email tip line, which is an email distribution that goes to all the producers and to myself as the field assignment manager, because it often included celebrity locations. It came in as I recall,
Objection, hearsay.
He's just describing how it came in.
I think he's about to reveal hearsay, Your Honor.
I'll overrule for now. We'll see where it goes. Okay.
Please continue.
So I received that email, and it included a link from some unknown Dropbox type public website in which it contained that
Objection,
video.
Your Honor, hearsay. He's about to describe what comes from the Dropbox website, and that's...
So far, he's just said was a link from a Dropbox. We'll see the next question. Go ahead, next question.
So you received a link. What was in that link?
In that link was the video of Johnny Depp smashing the cabinets.
And you received this video in your inbox, correct?
I did.
What did you do once you received that video?
We downloaded it. We alerted the web editor who was sitting next to me at the time. We downloaded it, and then were instructed by the news producer to do what we call slap bumpers and a bug on it, which is putting the dun 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 at the beginning end, and then putting a translucent watermark over it, which indicates copyright ownership.
After you did that, was it posted?
It was posted, yes.
Where was it posted?
It was posted to tmz.com.
Did you do anything else related to Amber Heard on August 12, 2016?
Yes, I received a tip that Amber Heard would be arriving at LAX, and so I dispatched camera people to film that exit, or her arrival to LAX, rather.
And why did you do that?
I was instructed to.
How long does it take to post a story after media's been received by TMZ?
After media's been received, it could take any length of time depending on who owns the copyright.
How does TMZ obtain copyright over images and videos?
The only way to obtain copyright over media would be if we shot it ourselves, if it was sent to the tip line, source verified that it was from the original copyright owner, and then either purchased from that person or given to us.
Yeah, so this is Morgan Tremaine. He was very famous during this trial. I remember when I was seeing it, and certainly has very good comebacks for when Turd's people tried to trip him up. Because Amber Turd had Temu attorneys, and it was a Temu case. So if this one was certainly this part was really cool. So, everyone could see through the nonsense of Heard in this time period. And forevermore, because it's all recorded.
And then the third option would be if it was directly given to us by the copyright holder, like a direct source.
And how long does it take to copyright something TMZ has received through the tip line?
It can take a while because you have to extensively verify that that person owns the copyright. And then possibly, it depends also if you can even get in contact with the person because they might not be super responsive immediately via phone or email that they provided. And then potentially you'd have to enter a negotiation with our Clips and Clearances Department to figure out the cost of that media.
How long does it take for TMZ to obtain a copyright over something received directly from a source?
Something in the realm of 15 minutes just to do what I described before, which is putting bumpers and a bug on something and write the article and post it. It's pretty fast.
How much time had passed from the time you received the kitchen cabinet video to the time it was posted on TMZ?
About 15 minutes.
Did any other tabloids other than TMZ post this video?
Objection
No,
leading and calls for hearsay.
Did any other tabloids?
Overruled.
Mr. Tremaine, go ahead.
No, they did not.
And why not?
Because it was a TMZ exclusive.
And what does that mean?
It means the TMZ owns the copyright to it. So it can't be distributed by any other media source without backlinking to TMZ, and they wouldn't be able to upload that media without getting a copyright strike.
Have you seen the kitchen cabinet video that was played in this trial?
I have, yes.
How does that video that was played in this trial compare to the one you received on August 12, 2016?
When I had clicked the direct link that we received and watched the video in its entirety, it was much shorter than the video we had received, than the video that's been played in this trial. There was a bit at the beginning that was played here in which Ms. Heard is seemingly sort of setting up the camera and getting into position. And then there's a bit at the end where she's seemingly snickering and looks at the camera. That part was not present in what we received.
Welcome back, Mookie. Welcome back to the chat. Yeah, so Amber Heard certainly, her attorneys really were full of nonsense in these situations. They really couldn't, they're very ill prepared, they're very not well trained, and they really reflect on Heard herself like we were saying before, it could be they were like her. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that your fur baby's doing okay, Moki. The new kitten Mary Toodles is looking after is very, very cute. And there's new pictures of him coming out. It's adorable. And not too sure what the gender is yet. But, so that is going well, with the new kitten. Okay, and now we'll continue. We're getting close to the part where he has a little brawl with Hurd's attorney. Right.
Received.
Did TMZ edit the video?
No, not even a little. When we receive something and it's edited, there's a clear indicator because there's sort of a journalistic practice that uses when there's an edit, you do what's called like a white flash transition, which covers the entire screen with white to very clearly indicate to everybody there was an edit here for time or whatever, just to make it a little more compelling. But in this case, it was not edited, as I was staring at the machine that edited it and present for the entirety of receipt to publishing.
When was the next time you worked on an assignment related to Amber Heard?
It was, there was the time where we went to the airport. And then the day after that, because she had flown in for the deposition, because I think the first time didn't work out. So she was arriving again for the deposition in that same parking lot adjacent to a law office.
And what's that, August 13th, 2016?
That was August 13th, yeah.
And what was your assignment on August 13th, 2016?
To dispatch camera people to that parking lot at a specific time in order to film Amber Heard arriving for the deposition.
How did you know that tip was legitimate?
It came from a news producer.
While you worked at TMZ, did you ever receive any communications from Mr. Depp or his camp?
I did not.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-examination?
Yes. So how do you know what video was shown at this trial?
I was alerted by a friend that that TMZ was being kind of talked about in this trial, and so I had seen a clip of that.
Okay, so you watched some of this trial?
Correct.
Okay. When did you first reach out to counsel for Mr. Depp?
I believe that was 6 days ago, whatever that date would be. I'd have to do that.
All right. And then you received a subpoena, I think yesterday, in care of your attorney, Cindy Hickox, right?
Correct.
Okay. And Cindy Hickox represents Christy Dombrowski, Kate James, Robin Baum.
Objection, Your Honor.
Were you aware
Calls
of
for
that?
speculation.
Overruled.
Were you aware of that?
No.
Okay. Now, if you don't have information that's helpful to this case, then you wouldn't be a witness, correct?
Objection. Calls for
can't.
speculation.
Sustained. Sustained. Next question.
I'm not aware.
Okay. You know this case is being televised, right?
I am aware that there are cameras.
And so this gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't
Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
it? I can ask that question.
Overruled.
So I stand to gain nothing from this. I'm actually putting myself kind of in a target of TMZ, a very litigious organization, and I'm not seeking any 15 minutes here. Though you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
A little argumentative, don't you think?
Oh, hardly. I find that to be purely logical. Thank you.
Now, are you aware that Mr. Depp's attorneys were well aware of the TRO that was going to be presented on May 27th?
Objection. Calls for speculation.
Were you aware of that?
Objection. Calls for
can't.
speculation.
Sustained. Sustained. Next question.
I'm not aware.
Okay, you know this case is being televised, right?
I am aware that there are cameras.
And so this gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't
Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
it? I can ask that question.
Overruled.
So I stand to gain nothing from this. I'm actually putting myself kind of in a target of TMZ, a very litigious organization, and I'm not seeking any 15 minutes here. Though you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
A little argumentative, don't you think?
Oh, hardly. I find that to be purely logical. Thank you.
Now, are you aware that Mr. Depp...
Yeah, he completely cooked her goose in 1,000 different ways. I mean, yeah, I remember when this was happening, I was watching it on another channel. I wasn't watching it on LC. This was the same day or week or that it happened where I discovered LC, because it was during the rainstorm. And it could have been later on this day, I'm not too sure. But yeah, the other channel had the full screen where you could see it all in a cascade effect. And that it really, the whole, like, people that were watching in the back were silently screaming and laughing, but it was like they looked like they were on mute. And I remember I was kind of walking back and forth, and I came in, the chat was going really fast. So yeah, he did very well, and that's how he got hired to work at LC, but he didn't like it doing he was there for a while, but then he wanted to do other things. And as I said, I've chatted with him before, but yeah, he did excellent with this comeback. This certainly will be put in the record of comebacks. If the news media on the TVs were more common like they were back in past decades, this probably would have been played over and over again on television. It could have been played on television also. I just don't know if these things are viewed on the mainstream media as much as it could have been back in the past. Yeah. So yeah, definitely he did a very good burn with that one. And she was just so stupid of the Elaine. She really had foolish things to say. She was not really defending well. But it's good that Depp's team had a good team of people to work with. But yeah, she just, I think, was convinced by the lies of Amber. And she just was a lousy person to begin with, because you have to be a lousy person to defend somebody like Turd. So yeah, he did very well. And that way, see, that completely won his case right there. Like, that just completely won. And his cool, calm demeanor was nice, too.
Depp's attorneys were well aware of the TRO that was going to be presented on May 27th.
Objection, calls for speculation.
Were you aware of that?
Lack of foundation.
Overruled if you can answer it.
Can you restate the question?
Were you aware that Mr. Depp's divorce attorneys were aware that Amber Heard was going in to seek a TRO on May 27th?
I don't think I understand the question. I don't think so, no.
Okay.
It's kind of a
Do you
complicated
know whether Blair Burke, one of Mr. Depp's divorce attorneys, had a very close relationship with TMZ at that time?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Overruled. If he knows.
I was not aware of that.
Okay. And when you said that you were dispatched twice, once to film Amber in a parking lot for the deposition, and then it didn't work out, and so you had to do it another time, how did you know it didn't work out?
Because TMZ.com posted an article saying as much.
Okay.
And I was not dispatched.
Do you know why the deposition did not work out?
I'd have to reference the article, I forget.
So do you know...
I didn't write that story. I wasn't involved in the actual journalism of that.
Do you know which side would have known or not known whether that deposition was going to work out? In other words, the people representing Mr. Depp or the people representing Ms. Heard?
I wouldn't know.
Okay. And then the video clip.
Yeah, definitely when Amber Heard was in the stand, that lost her case. Absolutely. That put the nail in the coffin. That is when a lot of people... There's actually... I don't know what it was like at LC, but at Independent, there's quite a few people that supported Amber Heard, and I persuaded people to see that Amber Heard was not what she was saying. But when people saw her on the stand, I mean, you could clearly see the shift happen. So yeah, when she got on the stand and started opening her mouth, that was over for her. This situation, in my opinion, with Morgan, it shows the rudeness of Elaine, and it I would say gives discredit to the defense that Heard had, but Amber going on the stand totally was annihilate everything, definitely. So they also did not advise her correctly when she was in the stand to have a proper demeanor in court. The way she acted on the stand, like they didn't really advise her right. So, yeah, just like with, I'm thinking of Donna Adelson, because we watched a couple of days ago or something like that last week. Yeah, Moki said poor Elaine got roasted by everyone. Yeah, that is true. Yes. And with that trial, I think it was her attorneys advised her incorrectly in that situation too. The way she said her statement at the end of the trial. So I think with these lessons, it is good for people to have attorneys that conduct it properly and not act like Timu attorneys. And yes, Elaine got roasted left and right, and I think the statement she made about 15 minutes of fame is irrelevant. That has nothing to do with anything. I think it's more like a personal, her being triggered personally. And that was unnecessary to say. But yeah, she definitely got roasted from all fronts. Yeah.
You don't know who provided that, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Not testifying to that.
I have no further.
All right, redirect.
Right, and you see what Donna could have done was she could have admitted to what she did and could have tried to say that she was trying to protect her daughter, her family, whatever. Although it was wrong what she did, that would have been better to say, and then she could have apologized for what she did and that it was wrong and admitted that it happened. That would have been better to do than to do what she did. And the judge was saying she lacked empathy. Neither did Harvey. Yeah, Harvey too. It's just they were ill. And remember at the end, LC was saying that there was going to be this spectacle at the end. So what they did was, I'm not hating on them or anything, because I was telling the chat good night, thank you for coming. Then they said, wait a minute now, there is more to come. And it was interesting behind the scenes of the court. And they talked to the attorney for 1 second, and the guy was like, "Oh, it's not the Peanut Gallery ambassador, the manager of the Peanut Gallery." That guy, he was saying how, it was not what they expected. Of course, it's going to happen anyway because they didn't do it right. From my observation and what from professionals have told me, their analysis on it. So. Yeah, so Harvey and Donna both did their self-destruction, and they also had Timu attorneys. Right, and Moki said, or apologized if she unknowingly helped Charlie in any way. Right. And that would have been good to say too. And that would have helped her sentence be lessened. Same thing with Darrell Brooks that we've been recently looking at him. What he was doing, the way he acted in court was appalling. That's an understatement. Appalling's an understatement. And he was talking about Jesus Christ of all people and the Bible of all things. And that's another character that just didn't, get the message here that he should have been more honest when he was found guilty. But these people think they're doing a last-ditch effort to save themselves, but they also do self-preservation. But by doing self-preservation, they get sentenced for longer sentences, and they don't really get anything right. So, and Amber could have done this very differently, where she could have looked more sympathetic, although should have still been lost the case. She could have at least saved her public image, to some extent. But these people don't. They're their own worst enemy. Right. Oh, a new guy's doing the sovereign citizen thing. Okay. I'd like to know more about this individual. If you could get me some information on that, I'd like to know who that is. I remember there's one time I like watching police cameras. Oh, hello, Christine. Harvey gave Katie a car for $1,700 cheap as one of the payments. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Thank you for letting us know. All right. So Moki says there's a new Yeah, there is a person in a police chase. No, not a police chase. The person was pulled over by the police, and they didn't have any license or registration. Oh, okay. Moki said it might be the Family Matters TV show guy. Okay, thank you. And I think it was absolutely ridiculous. So this a dude's pulled over. He seemed like a pretty cool guy, but he had no license, registration, no explanation either why he didn't have any of those things. That came out of the trial show. Oh, okay. Thank you, Christy. And I was, that's where I was seeing the sovereign citizen thing being used. And yeah, they just believe that they're outside the jurisdiction of the United States law, and they think that there's a shadow person. So there's like the SSN number, and there's a shadow person that's used as collateral for foreign exchange and debts and stuff for the government has. And they create a shadow person, so they think that the entity that they call our name and our SSN number is not the real person. So they're seeing it as like a type of LLC. But that's not reality. When someone murders somebody, the person that did the murder murders somebody. So it's not really a good defense. In my opine. Of course, it could be argued, but it doesn't mean anything. So somebody that got pulled over that was doing illegal activities, that had the car probably illegally, used the sovereign citizen thing. The person was saying they're a sovereign citizen, and they're outside the jurisdiction of the United States law. But they got arrested anyway. You see, if that had any kind of merit or ground, they wouldn't be arrested, but or they would probably be arrested or detained, but they would probably have people that would get off, but no one gets off for that. That's not how reality works. Even if it's true what they're saying, they're the ones that did the murder, not the shadow person that they're referring to, right? So if they want to call themselves 2964, 2964 did the action, so it's stupid. So thank you for letting me know. It's very entertaining to see sovereign citizen defenses being used. And yeah, as I said, Depp's attorneys did excellent. Oh, Darius. Well, that's a similar name to our boy Daryl. Darrell. Okay, thank you. I'm going to see what in the world this guy is for a second. All right. Yeah, Harvey is shady indeed, yes. All right. Okay, he's known for his role in Eddie Wilson in the 90s sitcom Family Matters. I've seen that before. I know who this is. I've seen this guy before. According to some, I've not been around this earth for too long, but a while back I saw that guy in a TV show or something. Yeah, okay. Darius owes $75,000 in child support. Oh Lord. Oh my God! Wow. He faced recent legal issues regarding unpaid child support, resulting in his arrest in 25. Recent legal issues on October 5, 25. McCrary was arrested nearly a U.S.-Mexico border by Border Patrol on a fugitive warrant by Michigan. The warrant was issued due to McCrary's failing to pay he failed to appear in court for a child support case where prosecutors state he owes over $75,000. During his bail hearing on October 15, McCrary attempted to represent himself, leading to the judge to express concern over his apparent lack of understanding of the process. A judge denied his request for bail, ruling him a flight risk, appointed him a public defender. McCrary was ordered to be extradited to Michigan but is reportedly fighting the extradition. Right. And so that's what he was arrested for. And let's see. And we'll see do a summary of his charges also. All right, so these are all the charges he has. Darius is being held on felony fugitive arrest warrant for Michigan and repeatedly failing to pay child support. He was arrested at the U.S. border near U.S.-Mexico border on October 5. Felony fugitive warrant. The most recent charge is a felony warrant issued in Oakland County, Michigan, for failing to appear in multiple court hearings in court hearings in the year 24, related to unpaid child support. It's for his daughter, but does he have other kids beside this woman? I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Yes, he has other children in addition to the one at the center of his current child support case. According to public statements and records, he has a total of 3 children. He has 3 children, 2 daughters and 1 son. Oh, okay, Moki. Thank you for letting us know. You know, it's unfortunate, but thank you for the update. And I think that I wish you all the best, Moki. You know, in that situation, it's really messed up. Yeah. And we are here for you, Moki, to chat with, as always. And appreciate everybody updating us about what's going on with them, because I like to know what's going on. Obviously, he hasn't worked in a long time. I haven't seen him in years. He's broke. You can't get blood from a stone. Well, that's a very good saying. Absolutely. Okay, and let's see the other charges with him. Felony fugitive warrant. The most recent charges is a felony warrant issued in Oakland County, Michigan, for failing to appear at multiple court hearings in 2024 related to unpaid child support. You're welcome, Loki. Christine says, OMG, does he pay those maybe he are over 21, 26 at the college. Yeah, prior to the arrest. So unpaid child support is one thing. The $75,000 in support on amount that he reportedly increased over time prior to the arrest. McCrary's third arrest for alleged non-payment of child support. He also was arrested in similar charges in 2015 and 23. So he has a history of not paying child support. Flight extradition. McCrary was denied bail in order to be extradited Michigan during the court appearance on October 15. However, his legal team claims he is fighting the extradition. All right. Okay. All right, so Zechariah, his son, is age 18. Zoe, his daughter, is age 9. And, okay, so Zoe, his daughter with Tammy, is age 9. A son with author Karen Steffens, age unknown, also son from his previous marriage, and current support involves his eldest son, Zechariah. Okay. So that is the age. Disputed notification. McCrary's representative and Barlow claims he was not properly notified of the court hearings because notices were allegedly sent to a P.O. box instead of his residential address. Barlow has also stated that a notice for the missed hearing was received the day after the scheduled date. Claimed charitable trip. According to Barlow, McCrary was not attempting to flee but trying to cross into Mexico to do charity work all of a sudden. However, prosecutors argue that was crossing the border for real estate dealings. So he was not trying to leave the country, he was just trying to do charity. Yeah, age 9. Yeah, you got to be able to take care of your children. That's something that humans are obliged to do, and you can't be deadbeat, a Sheen deadbeat. Oh, absolutely, it's not really nice when you have a parent, especially a father, that doesn't really contribute. Yeah, it really does have to hurt the kids. I mean, a man, in my opinion, I think many would agree, is supposed to protect, provide, and take care of his family, and not have these kind of situations. That's not what it's supposed to be like. Yeah, definitely loser. Yeah. And real lousy, and he's very cowardice to try to leave. He only cares about himself. Okay, and let's see why doesn't he pay the child support? Oh. All right. Darius has provided several explanations for his failure to pay child support through prosecutors dispute his claims. So he's made up some claims. He looked like a POS in court. I saw the hearing. Loser. Yes. I read that. Yeah. And I haven't seen it, but I'll certainly go back and look. All right, several explanations. Remember, this is a bunch of nonsense from him. Okay, so it's not really true. His explanations include financial hardship, not receiving proper legal notices, and claiming that his child is now an adult. Wow, really? Wow. 2017, McCrary told judge that he could not afford to make child support payments because he was not earning much money. He claimed that he made only $500 in the past year, owed the IRS $90,000 due to financial issues. He had moved with his aunt and uncle, uncertain income. Public records have occasionally highlighted his unsteady financial status in recent years, though some have noted inconsistencies between his stated income and other reported expenses. Procedural notification errors. Missed court dates. McCrary's representatives and Barlow claims that court failed to properly notify him on June 24 hearing. You see, he always has to blame someone else but not himself. Hearing Michigan, the notice was allegedly sent to P.O. Box instead of residential address in Los Angeles. And his representatives stated that when a notice did arrive, he was the day after the hearing was scheduled. After receiving the late notice, McCrary reported contact to the court. Okay, everybody, we see a classic pattern here, okay, that I was talking about with Turd and the other ones. He's not taking personal accountability. He's blaming everybody else but himself. This is an example of a lost cause. Well, shout out to the LC chat people that have taught me better than this. You know, because a lot of these attorneys are you know, Timu attorneys. Christine says, Alien, do you see the trial firefighter from Ireland came here for St. Patrick's Day, and according to prosecutors, he raped a woman who was in the next bed of a guy she just slept with. He was sleeping well. I'm not surprised but to hear this, but I'm not familiar with this trial, no. When she was getting raped, she never cried out, come on. Insurance, Crows, Massachusetts. Okay. I will look into this trial, Christine. That's very unfortunate. And I'll see and make my opine on that. I will look into this one. Thank you. Okay. So... Alright. I have that saved. Alright, sick. Okay, now he's claiming he had a sickness. McCrary's legal filings also cited illnesses stating that he had COVID-19 in June of 24, which contributed to his missed hearing. Well, he had the coof. Okay. He had a cold. Okay. Railroaded by the court. He got railroaded by Big Crooked Deke. Oh, chat. He was railroaded by Deke. He was dodging Deke. McCrary's representative has accused Oakland County, Michigan court railroading him and violating his due process. Claims regarding his son, age, and support. Child as an adult. McCrary's representative has argued that he no longer was owed child support for his eldest son, Zachariah, who is 18 years old now. Well, it's important to... I mean, if someone has to owe child support, you have to pay... It's like a loan. If you have to pay, you have to pay a loan back or something... Oh, Moki says, my cat keeps giving me pet me paw. Yeah, shout out to the kitties. So, okay, now, in this circumstance, you have this individual who, I mean, yeah, you still owe it even if he becomes an adult, but imagine what that kid must feel like, that his dad's like, oh no, I don't have to pay child support because... You know, he's an adult. You should give the kid money anyway. Alright. she said she woke up and he was inside me, scared. Inside of her, Mass versus Terrence. Second trial, first was missed. Funny thing, DNA inside of her. Yeah, scared. Alright. Direct payment. His rep also claimed that McCrary provided support directly to his son and has been giving proper credit to those payments. No credit past support. Okay. Let's see about this other trial. Right here. Scared. All right, let's see. If convicted of rape, Massachusetts, Terrence Crosby could face up to 20 years in prison. Yeah. Good points. It's like I could say that Winnie the Pooh threw honey on me and got me sticky. But there's nothing on my arm. But, you have to have more evidence. Terrence Crosby is Dublin firefighter who currently is on trial in Boston, Massachusetts for allegedly rape of a woman in March 24. His first trial ended in a mistrial in June 25 after the jury was unable to reach an unanimous verdict. The incident, according to prosecutors, Crosby was in Boston with members of his Dublin Fire Brigade for annual St. Patrick's Day parade. A 28-year-old woman who had met Crosby fellows firefighters had consensual sex with him before falling asleep in a separate bed in the same hotel room in Omni Parker House. She alleges she later awoke to find Crosby raping her. Christine said that is what they are saying. The first time was mistrial, but keep going. Okay. Arrest. After being questioned by police, Crosby alleged... Oh, hello, D-Sauce. Good to see you, buddy. Arrest. After being questioned by police, Crosby allegedly moved up his flight back to Ireland. He was arrested on Massachusetts State Police and the tarmac at Logan Airport as his plane was set to depart. Retrial. Crosby's second trial began on October 25. The alleged victim testified again, repeating her claim that she woke up to find a man inside of her. Find a man, and y'all hear this? Alleged victim testified again, repeating her claim that she woke up to find a man inside her. Defense argument. Yeah, I've heard about when people are drinking that consensual sex is not a thing and it's grape, but I don't even know this guy was inside of her. I wasn't there. Defense argument. Crosby has pleaded not guilty in the charges. His defense team has highlighted inconsistencies with the alleged victim's testimony and pointed out his DNA was not conclusively found during the forensic examination. Alright. Christine said they asked if the guy she slept with before this was sleeping next to them because that guy and Terrence were friends. Asked her why she did not scream out, and she says because she was frozen. Yeah, okay. She was frozen in fear. Scared? And she was frozen in fear. And why would a firefighter in Dublin, would he risk all that to do this and ruin his career and go to prison in the United States. I mean, I think that grapes are extremely serious and need to be charged if people do that. But I know, and it's, you gotta have evidence and proof. Like, I wasn't there, I don't know what happened, but you definitely do have to, there would be proof and evidence there, in my opinion, that he did it, you know, but unless the person was very impulsive and they just couldn't control themselves, I mean, you know, he would ruin his whole career in a foreign country over this. And if he did do that, wow, that really, he would lack impulse control. DNA evidence. A sexual assault evidence kit found DNA from 2 males, but theirs was not enough to identify the source. If you can't identify the source, it could be from anyone, although the most logical explanation would be the 2 guys that are in there. They wouldn't have the ability to figure out who was who. His wife was back home. Okay. Well, yeah, his wife was back home, and as I said, I don't know if no DNA, right? Moki says, that's super yucky either way and sounds like a drunken mess. You know, when people are intoxicated and drinking, they may not remember what they did. And when people are drinking, they may do things they usually wouldn't do. And I think if anyone has 6 under the influence, if I remember correctly, it could be seen as grape either way. But as I said, I don't know. It's an icky situation, definitely. And yes, Christine, no DNA. Obviously, yes. And if they're able to get DNA and test it, that would be good to get more evidence with it. Surveillance footage. Prosecutors present surveillance footage video showing Crosby in the room at the time the woman says she was raped. Okay. Police interview. During the police interview, Crosby denied having any physical contact with the woman and offered a hypothetical scenario of how his DNA could have been found. And, you know, with the video evidence, they could find if people were at a location, and there could be different, you know, conclusions that can be drawn up if someone is there, unless there's a phantom person that slipped through the cracks they don't know of. And was she, you know, she was having sex with somebody else, you know, which, it's an icky situation, like what Moki said. Could she have had a memory relapse of something else and she got the memories mixed up? You know, she already was having intercourse with somebody. As I said, it's an icky situation. You know, when people are drinking, it could be foggy about what's going on. And somebody could either do it and be drunk and not remember, or people could take advantage of a drunk person. That has happened. People drinking in general are not, kind of like, you know, it's a situation where you need a lot of evidence. It's good to have evidence to prove these things, because somebody could be innocent and not be, you know, responsible for these, you know, behaviors, right? And police interview. She had just slept with another guy. He was snoring in the next bed. Yeah, it sounds like a Nikki situation. Yeah, scared. All right, police interview. During his police interview, Crosby denied having any physical contact with the woman and offered hypothetical scenarios about how his DNA could have been found. All right. Mistrial. The first trial ended with a hung jury in 25. Judge Sarah Ellis declared a mistrial after 4 days of deliberation. Bail increase. The judge increased Crosby's bail to $50,000. It demanded him as a flight risk. His passport was revoked. Current status. As mid-October 25, the retrial underway in Suffolk Superior Court in Boston. Moki said he was probably passed out. Right. Yeah. Drinking will do that to you. It can make someone become passed out. Yeah. That's why you gotta be, note to self and note to everybody else. You gotta be careful, like, who you're hanging around in these situations, because it's like somebody could accuse somebody of something. I know from rental properties, it's good to have a witness with you when you're seeing a tenant, be it just in case they say something, and nowadays you could just have like a body camera on you. But yeah, it's going to be up to the jury and what they think. She confirmed she already had sex with the other guy, but then says she woke up with Terrence inside of her. Yeah. And it's like Terrence is just laying on top of her with a deke in there. Yeah. As of mid-October 25, the retrial is underway in Superior Court of Boston. Crosby has been held in custody in Suffolk County Jail since his arrest. Right. If convicted, he can be up to 20 years in prison. Okay. And it's going to be her word against his. It's going to be like, okay, there's DNA evidence. He was in the room, but they can't figure out if his DNA was there or not. All right, Christine says, Moki, yes, but she never shouted out. She never screamed when she says Terrence was doing this. And Moki says, it could be very well true, but I don't see how they prove it. Is he saying it never happened or it was consensual? He's saying that he never did it. That he was passed out, a drunken Irishman passed out, just snoozing away his pot of gold. I'm part Irish, so it's okay to say that. And definitely, yeah, he's saying he didn't have any kind of intercourse with her. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Yeah. All right. But in a court of law, there's certain things you do. Probably another mistrial. A normal reaction would be, what are you doing? Get the F off me. Instead, she was frozen. She was, it's like, was she, if you're not enjoying what's going on with you, you'd say, like, yeah, get the F off of me. And would be a reaction. Then if he tried to hold her down, and she could go and yell and scream and say, scared. But she didn't do that. She was just frozen. Alcohol could cause people to maybe dream or think of something that didn't even happen. She could have dreamed it, maybe. And then it, what's real, what isn't real is relapsing because of the drinking. Yeah, just, I think that intoxication in this type of situation is not good for anybody. It doesn't help at all. And I wasn't there. I don't know what occurred, but yeah, it definitely seems a little bit odd to, say the least. And the charge of rape carries maximum of 20 years in prison, state prison. An actual sentence, if he were convicted, would be determined by a judge based on specific factors of the case, sentencing guidelines, and any mitigation or aggravated circumstances. The prosecutor has accused Crosby of using his anonymity from his home to commit rape, a factor that could potentially influence a judge's sentence decision. Let's see what this prosecutor saying. Has caused Crosby of using his autonomy far away from home. So this prosecutor is inferring that he came all the way to America to do something like this in the most advanced country on earth to get away with his actions. I mean, it's, we're kind of grasping for straws here. We got to focus, get down to earth and focus on what the main charges are, prosecution. And, there's no need to reach, if the conviction is true. And Crosby has maintained his innocence and pleaded not guilty. His first trial resulted in a hung jury. The second trial is currently underway in Suffolk Superior Court in Boston. I don't. Why isn't LC broadcasting this trial? Is it being broadcasted? I mean, this is something we should have been seeing. All right. Let's see what the evidence that he did it is, and then proof that he didn't do it. Evidence he didn't do it. Okay. Okay, evidence he didn't do it. Then I'll do evidence that he did do it, just to kind of see what both sides are saying. Arguments for Terrence Crosby's innocence have been presented by defense team during his 2 trials, with the first ending in his mistrial. The defense has argued that prosecutors have not proven guilt beyond reasonable doubt, and that the evidence points to inconsistencies in the accuser's story. DNA evidence not conclusive, no identifiable DNA. A key point in the defense is result of the DNA analyst. A sexual assault evidence kit found DNA from 2 different males, but there was not enough material to conclusively link the second DNA profile to Crosby, excluded from other swabs. DNA analysts from Boston police testified on a swab taken from woman's breasts. Crosby was excluded as a possible male source, while his roommate Lame O'Brien was included. CTV is starting the new trial tomorrow, and TTL is going to cover it. Okay, Moki, thank you. Inconsistencies in the accuser's account. And NH versus Dustin Duran. That makes me think of Duran Duran. Those lyrics. Okay. And that's very messed up that he did the murder. Well, he's being accused of it, I should say. Inconsistencies with the accuser's account. Intoxication. The defense has argued that the woman's memory may be unreliable due to her level of intoxication. Evidence from hospitals showed the woman's blood alcohol level was 0.135. The defense lawyer noted that her memory appeared to have gaps. Alleged attacker's identity. During her testimony, the woman stated that she was able to clearly see her attacker because the room lights were on. However, the defense pointed out that she had met Crosby earlier and even shook his head, yet failed to identify him specifically as the attacker at certain points. Oh, okay, Moki. That'll be interesting to see. It's always interesting to see when they take the stand. Yeah. Unwitting roommate. The accuser stated that Crosby's roommate, Lame O'Brien, did not wake up during the alleged attack. The defense has questioned why she did not try to wake him up to get help. Yeah, Hungry Like the Wolf, yeah. I listened to that on, so the car, Mary Toodles showed me that in the Hungry Like the Wolf, the CD. She played it in the car. And when I was growing up, I liked it. So, yeah, that was a good song. So, let's see. I'm going to review that one. You keep eating yogurt-covered pretzels. That sounds very good. Delicious. I love yogurt. I love yogurt-covered pretzels. I haven't had them in a while, but they taste good. All right. Crosby's statement to police: no physical contact. When interviewed, police Crosby explicitly stated that he had no physical contact with the woman. He expressed disbelief when he asked if he would be surprised to hear otherwise. All right, when interviewed, yeah, and another thing to think about is the burden of proof. And if somebody's being raped, usually there's like force involved. And you know what I mean, like with there'll probably be marks or something like that. So that is another thing that the defense might argue inconsistency. Yeah, red wine is good. A giant pint of wine. All right, flight attempt. While Crosby was arrested on plane to flight home early, a defense lawyer in legal commentary suggested that this could be interpreted as a reaction to distressing accusations rather than admission of guilt. His argument is that he may have been trying to avoid the situation, not accountability. All right, this is the prosecution rebuttal. It's important to note that the prosecution has offered rebuttals and a defense's arguments. The claim that the lack of DNA is not extorting, a megapint. They claim that the lack of identifiable DNA is not exorating the amount collected was too small to be conclusive. They also emphasized the accuser was able to provide clear, detailed accounts of the assault to police, hospital staff hours later, despite levels of intoxication. Prosecution has portrayed Crosby's attempt to leave the country as evidence of guilt and his desire to escape justice. Prosecution, I think, seems kind of weak, except the last part about him trying to flee the country. That could be something they could argue, but they have to have the burden of proof. All right. So we're going to see about how this goes. The burden of proof must be present. Let's see. Yeah, Depp says that, yeah. Now, they're saying burden of proof is very much present in a Terrence Crosby trial. Allegedly, this central point of the defense strategy in criminal case includes that the Massachusetts prosecution carries the entire burden of proof. This means that prosecution must prove Crosby's guilt beyond reasonable doubt. The highlight standards of proof in the legal system. A jury have responsibility, doubt, and the guilt must acquit him. Prosecution's responsibility. The prosecution is required to present enough evidence to convince the jury that Crosby is guilty. This includes convincing them that the alleged victim's account is accurate, despite her intoxication, and DNA evidence points to Crosby. Yes, he wanted to leave early. Yes. I'll also, I will elaborate on that. Yes, his defense is arguing that he didn't want to face the BS from this and legal issues, and he was frightened by the accusations against him. So, for instance, the flight attempt. Crosby was arrested on a plane trying to fly home early. A defense lawyer and a legal commentary suggested that this could be interpreted as a reaction to a distressing accusation rather than admission of guilt. This arrangement that he may have been trying to avoid the situation, not accountability. So yes, he was trying to leave early. But there was also this accountability, where maybe he was distressed at the accuser, not trying to flee accountability, they claim. So yes, he was trying to flee early. Right, the prosecution requires that they present enough evidence to convince the jury that Crosby is guilty. This includes convincing them that the alleged victim's account is accurate despite her intoxication, and the DNA evidence points to Crosby. Defense focus. Crosby's defense lawyer did not need to prove his innocence. Their job is to create reasonable doubt the minds of the jurors. They are challenging the prosecution's evidence by arguing that the alleged victim's memory was impaired by alcohol, that DNA evidence is inconclusive, and that Crosby's actions did not meet the legal standard for a conviction. Significance of the first trial. The focus of the first trial ended in a hung jury and was declared a mistrial. Indicates that the prosecution's failed to meet its burden of proof at the first time. Some jurors had reasonable doubt about Crosby's guilt. The retrial gives the prosecution another chance to present its case and try to clear that doubt. And shout out to Mary Toodles. The fact that the first trial ended in hung jury. Okay, so the defense is essentially saying that the jury at Crosby's attorney did not. The first trial, the prosecution has not met its high burden of proving guilt beyond reasonable doubt. It is up to the jurors to, in the current retrial, to weigh in the evidence and decide whether prosecution has finally done so. Okay, so that is that trial summarized, and this other trial. All right, the state of New Hampshire versus Dustin Duran, the criminal case of the murder of Duran's GF, Caitlin, on February 29, 24. Duran, a U.S. Marine veteran, has pled not guilty and is claiming he acted in self-defense during the arrangement over their children. Trial begins October 25. Case details. Incident. Caitlin, 31, was found shot to deletion at the apartment in Berlin, New Hampshire. The medical examiner determined that the cause of deletion was a single gunshot wound in the head. Amber Alert. After Ziegler's body was discovered, an Amber Alert was issued for the couple's doing our homework, yes. Amber Alert. After Ziegler's body was discovered, Amber Alert was issued for the couple's two young daughters, ages 4 and 1 at the time. Arrest. Duran and the children were found unharmed hours later in a car in a parking lot in Keene, about 170 miles away, after the citizen who saw the Amber Alert, contacted police. Charges: Duran, 38, has been charged with second-degree murder, reckless conduct, and with a deadly weapon and child endangerment. Self-defense claims: Duran's defense team has stated that they will argue that he shot Navziger in self-defense because she was attempting to kidnap their children. They're calling it the Amber Alert trial. Scared. Admission of motions. Duran allegedly admitted to deletion of Navziger during a police interview following his arrest. This defense attorneys have filed motions to block the police interview from being presented as evidence and argue that the errors existed the interview transcripts. Military service court determines revealed that Duran, a military veteran who was served in Iraq and South Korea, had suffered from PTSD, employment, and income. According to his application for a public defender in March 24, Duran earned monthly income of $2,380 primarily from VA disability. His employment was listed as Google YouTube and maintained a YouTube channel where he performed music. Alright, in prosecution's argument against the self-defense claim. The prosecution's case against Dustin Duran's self-defense claim rests on evidence indicating that his accusations were premeditated rather than in the heat of the moment. The Navziger's actions did not rise to the level of kidnapping, and Duran's subsequent flight with the children is inconsistent with self-defense narrative. Inconsistencies with self-defense. That's what it said, yeah. He left in the parking lot. I'll make sure, though, see if that's true. Reports indicate that his two young daughters were found by police in a car in Applebee's restaurant parking lot in Keene, New Hampshire. This occurred after the Amber Alert was issued. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, Navziger once in the head, and lethally and seemingly definitive action as she reportedly grabbing her 4-year-old daughter and during an arrangement. The state's case will likely argue that this was disproportionate use of deadly force against someone who is not presenting immediate life-threatening danger. Christine, what is with all these self-defenses everywhere? You look self-defense, Daisy, Link, oh, there are more. Moki says, sounds like he could have been trying to set up his story. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, very sus. Defense of others. argument challenged. The defense is building its case on the claim that Navziger was attempting to kidnap their children. The prosecution is expected to counter the Navziger as mother cannot kidnap her own children from their father during the arrangement. Legally, the standard for a justified deletion is the reasonable belief that other persons committing or about to commit kidnapping, but state will likely argue that Navziger's actions grabbing a child during a dispute would not meet his threshold. Evidence of flight. The prosecution is expected to emphasize Duran fled the scene of the crime with his children and was found more than 170 miles away in a different city. If Duran has acted in legitimate self-defense, prosecution might argue he would have called the police rather than attempting to disappear with the children. This flight behavior triggered an Amber Alert suggests a motive to evade the consequences of his actions. Lack of escape attempt by Navziger. Evidence may be introduced to suggest that Navziger was not attempting to leave the home with the children in a manner consistent with kidnapping, rather simply attempting to end domestic dispute. The state's case may argue that Duran was the one who fled, not Navziger. A lot of self-defense accusations. Yeah. It's like the RICO thing. It's like people are going to make self-defense over and over. Cannot wait for Courtney Clinty, December 1st. She's a nut job. Oh, okay. Okay. Courtney Clinty is Instagram and other. Courtney Clinty is an Instagram and OnlyFans model accused of second-degree murder of her boyfriend, Christian Toby Tom Moosley, in April 22. Clinty, also known as Courtney Taylor online, claims she acted in self-defense during an altercation in their Miami apartment. Her murder trial is currently delayed due to several pending motions, with a new date not yet seen. The incident on April 3, 22, Clinty called 911 to report that she had stabbed. Oh, I may have read that. Oh no, I already. I kind of said that, but not completely. All right, is. Oh, hello there, 666. Good to see you, buddy. I thought that got delayed again. Yeah, and it is Duran Guy's YouTube channel still up. Let's see. Yeah, is Duran's YouTube channel still up? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, that's his YouTube channel. Has 14K subscribers and features his video game content. Oh, okay, 6. Thank you, buddy. Let's see. Right, and the previous statement, new arrests and bond. Alright, so on April 22, Glennie called the 911 report that she had stabbed Muesli. She was covered in blood. When police arrived, Muesli, a cryptocurrency investor, died from a single knife wound to the chest. Self-defense claim. Glennie initially claimed that O shoved her and she threw a knife at him 10 feet away in self-defense. Medical examiners finding. The medical examiner's autopsy report contradicts Glennie's claim of throwing the knife. It concluded that the fatal wound was caused by a forceful downturn thrust of the blade, not a thrown knife. Tumultuous relationship. According to prosecutors, a couple had extremely tempestuous and combative relationship. The video evidence shows past violation encounters, including one instance of elevator where Glennie appeared to be the aggressor. Glennie's lawyer, however, argued that she was the victim of domestic abuse and O was manipulative. My weekend was good. I got stuff done in the yard and looking at some stuff to make content about. Today I was looking over some things on the channel. Some channel plans. I'm doing good. I hope yours is good too, 666. Alright. Legal developments. Arrested on bond. Glennie was arrested in Hawaii in August 22, where at a rehabilitation center for substance abuse and PTSD, and she has been held without bond since her arrest. Prosecutional misconduct. Allegations. Glennie's defense team has accused the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office of misconduct, claiming prosecutors improperly accessed confidential attorney-client communications through iCloud accounts belonging to Glennie. Oh, that's very cool, Moki. Computer hacking charges dropped. On July 24, computer hacking charges against Glennie parents were dropped after a judge ruled that the prosecution had improperly gathered evidence. Attempt to disqualify prosecutors. Following the revelations, Glennie's defense team had sought to have Miami-Dade disqualified from altogether, arguing their misconduct has tainted the proceedings. Trial delay. A planned trial for December 25 has been postponed to allow the court to rule on several pending motions, including One, to disqualify the prosecution. All right. That's a summary of some of the trials that we're going to be looking at. Thank you, chat, for information.
They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as a sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Is that one of the statements that you allege are defamatory? It's defamatory?
That's correct.
Okay. Can we please go to Plaintiff's Exhibit 881B? And if we could go to page 10 and 11. In Plaintiff's Exhibit 881B, Depp's lawyer Adam Waldman said the various discrepancies prove that nothing Heard and her friends said about the events of May 21, 2016 could be considered credible. Quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax. They set Mr. Depp up by calling the cops, but the first attempt didn't do the trick, he told thedailymail.com. The officers came to the penthouses, thoroughly searched and interviewed, and left after seeing no damage to face or property. So Amber and her friends spilled a little wine and roughed the place up, got their story straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist, and then placed a second call to 911. But even this didn't have, oh, apologize. You're fine. Okay. and if we can please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 881C. And go to page 11. This is another article, Ms. Hurd, where you argue that Mr. Waldman's statements are defamatory, correct?
I don't know if this is taken from that article because I can't see the article in full.
It's page 11 of the article. And the statement reads, we have reached the beginning of the end of Ms. Hurd's abuse hoax against Mr. Depp. Is that correct? Is that one of the what you claim is one of the defamatory statements said by Mr. Waldman?
I believe so.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Hurd, you're not aware of any career opportunities that you lost as a result of Mr. Waldman's statements, are you?
Well, it's kind of hard to point to the jobs you're not offered,
Right.
to the gigs you don't get.
You were not replaced in Aquaman 2, were you?
They released me from my contract, and I fought to stay in it, and they kept me in it. I just don't know how much I'm in, actually, of the final cut.
And you testified yesterday that L'Oreal actually extended your contract in April of 2020. Is that correct?
In part, they extended it and held me.
And you testified yesterday that L'Oreal extended your contract again in November of 2021, correct?
Not exactly. They extended it because they couldn't use me or any of the materials for me.
And that extension was for 20 months, right?
That's correct.
Ms. Hurd, you testified yesterday how Mr. Waldman's statements, quote, torture you every day. Do you recall that testimony?
I do.
And then, and that you look at them every day.
I look at the online attacks, the media. You can't avoid it, to be honest, that those statements are often attached to. I don't look at his statements every day.
And you testified that you just want to move on with your life, right?
I do very much want to move on with my life.
But you've gone out of your way to engage with Mr. Waldman on social media, haven't you?
I have made a comment, I believe, once. I would not characterize that as engaging with him.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1266.
It's right there. Your microphone. Yeah. Your microphone.
I don't have this yet, so I'm asking for it to
right
be
there.
given to me before.
It's a photograph.
I think it's just a.
This is your tweet, right, Ms. Hurd?
That is correct.
I'm going to move to admit and publish this tweet.
I don't check the relevance.
The objection, I'm sorry, what was the objection?
I'm sorry, relevance?
All right, I'll overrule the objection. 881C in evidence. Is that right?
Can we please have it published to the jury?
What was it? I'm sorry, 1266. I apologize.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is from March 26, 2021, right?
That's what it looks like, yes.
And this is after he made the statements you claim are defamatory, right, Ms. Hurd?
21, yes.
Ms. Hurd, you tweeted at Adam Waldman, quote, "Yes, Mr. Waldman, I may be wearing makeup on this occasion, but on every occasion you will still be short." Did I read that right?
Yes.
We can put this down. Thank you. Ms. Hurd, since your relationship with Mr. Depp ended, you have completed your level 3 sommelier training, haven't you?
I haven't completed it yet. I
You're
just
on level
stopped.
2?
No, I'm on level 3.
You also have had a baby, right?
I have.
And you enjoy being a mother?
More than anything.
You still love to cook?
I do.
And you love to hike?
I've taken a break on hiking for a minute.
You have friends, right?
I do have friends.
And you spend time with those friends?
Occasionally, when I can.
And you exercise regularly?
Every day.
You just filmed a movie in March of 2022, isn't that right?
Yes, the one I just shot in Guatemala that I spoke of earlier.
And you have, you had a major role in a major film that's scheduled to be released soon. Is that correct? Aquaman 2?
As I said, I don't know if I will even be in the final cut or how much I will be. It was difficult to stay in the movie.
You struck Mr. Depp multiple times during your relationship, didn't you, Ms. Heard?
There were many times I had to use my body to defend myself, and that included swinging wherever I could. If it meant I could get away, absolutely. If it meant a difference between a sore face and a broken nose, you bet I would. You
That's
bet.
your testimony under oath that you never struck Mr. Depp as the initial aggressor?
Well, he was holding me against the wall by my neck. You know, I might be the first person to have been the first one to slap, which happened in Australia. You know.
Okay, good night, everyone. Thank you for coming to the stream. We've completed the stream for tonight, and thank you all for coming. Have a good week, and peace.